Stream is ready though. Is stream ready? Let's hope stream is ready.
No.
No?
Maybe.
Oh damn.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Yay! Stream is up. I think.
Yay!
All right.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a toughie. let's go with that.
Well, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be for me because I already know what the hell I'm talking about.
Oh hell yeah, I know. This is why we decided to stream an hour early, ladies and gentlemen, because I feel we have a lot to go and break down, discuss, dissect, disintegrate. I don't know any of those words that people like to use, because tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be another session of the PokePod World Podcast with my good friends that you see here in this call currently. We got my buddy from going from right to left. We got Emmy here.
Hello.
We got Nessa.
Hello.
And we got TSS.
Yup.
And folks, as stated already by the title of this video, yep, we are going to be taking a long round in discussing the Masters 8 tournament, the beginning of it, what it has introduced, all the core concepts and everything that's been utilized in that episode thus far, share our impressions on it, and of course, share either our praises and our criticisms, because there's always more than what meets the eye when it comes to any episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into it later, because as you guys already know, we always do these things at the first hour. As you guys know what it is, it's the bullshit hour. The bullshit hour is our session where we take an opportunity to let everything go and just talk about some of the silly shenanigans or maybe important things that are going to be happening within this upcoming week. And we just had a nice little hello there from a certain buddy of ours. Hey there, Tyrone.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? Everything all good?
Yep.
All right, then I can only hope that you are ready to go, buddy.
I'm not.
All right, that's great to hear, man.
I was like, you sound kind of raspy.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, are you okay, Tyrone?
I was like, get ready. I'm not ready. Is everybody ready for my not readiness?
No.
Yeah, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
Oh, Lord. All right, let me go tweet out the fact that we are live. There we
He's
go.
bought the heat with him, but I bought the fire extinguisher, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but which one's going to surpass the other is the real question.
I'll bring the oven.
Will the fire stay ignited long enough to keep on growing, or will the extinguisher be enough to take it all out in one swoop?
I'm pretty sure
that's going to be
in the
the big mystery. But that's why we like for you guys to look forward to it, because you never know. You might be surprised with the results of everything. So that's going to be, like I stated already at the beginning of our video, it's going to be later. We're not going to talk about that right now, because we have no rights to talk about that right now, because of the fact that we have many other things to discuss about that have gone down within the past couple of weeks, and I only feel it is appropriate for us here to go and talk about these things before we go any further. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, are you here in the call ready to go for tonight with our silly shenanigans and discussions? All right, then. So, let's begin with the first major announcement that had gone down this day specifically. As you guys might have recalled, in the previous discussion shenanigans we had, there was a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 limited edition that had dropped. And unfortunately, it came with a lot of criticisms for it because of the fact that, well, it dropped and there was literally no way for any of us to actually get our hands on said limited edition product. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about the fact that out of complete goddamn nowhere, the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 presentation is going to commence, ladies and gents. And there is a direct happening in just a couple of days from now. So that is going to be our first main topic. I'm not sure how many of you guys here in this call are major fans of the series. I know some of you guys have hopped into Terrell's streams, who's been playing Xenoblade Chronicles thus far, and currently we are entering ourselves into the third generation of the series with 3 here. So a lot of things is
technically the 4th game of the series.
Technically, yes, you are right. But according to Nintendo and the developers, this is supposedly the 3rd one for some odd reason. But yeah.
Well, hey, at least unlike Gabe Newell, they could actually count to 3.
Yeah, is that true though? Because technically this is supposed to be 4, right?
But they could actually put the number 3 onto a freaking game and not 2 episode 1, 2 episode 2, 2 episode 3,
They're just scared of the big 3, buddy. But yeah, so Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is going to be having a Nintendo Direct on this week specifically. Roughly 20 minutes of information, and also kind of gives us a bit of an idea as to what's happening, because there has been rumors that have been going around these past couple of weeks regarding Nintendo and the fact that there is no Nintendo Direct or Nintendo presentation that has been happening around this month during the not E3 time. So we've had presentations from Capcom, we had presentations from Microsoft, etc., PC Gaming Show, you name it, they've been there. So many have been asking, when will Nintendo themselves get involved in making one? And unfortunately, we haven't seen much of it as of right now, and currently it seems to be that they might either go 2 routes. One, this is going to be a direct that's going to be a prelude to the eventual Nintendo Direct the following week. And I say that because maybe they're trying to get all the Xenoblade content out as much as possible before the game drops, and then they want to save all their Megaton titles for just the Nintendo E3 Direct, or whatever you want to call it. Or the second thing they could do with this one is they're going to have directs for particular games week after week. So one week it'll be Xenoblade 3, the next week it'll be Splatoon 3, the next week it'll be the next Zelda game, etc. We don't know as of right now, but this is just simply the big discussion that's happening as of this moment. And the only thing I can ask right now is anybody here actually excited to see a Xenoblade centered Direct? As in just only this particular title and nothing more?
Nope.
You are not.
Xenoblade. I'm sorry.
Damn, bro.
Listen,
I know I need to.
I actually never played any of them, so it's like I can't.
Listen. I'm gonna be very clear. I like Xenoblade and respect it as a franchise, even though I haven't played any of the games. But Smash Brothers did a really good job of getting me invested. I've watched Terrell's playthrough of Xenoblade. I like the way Pyra and Mithra look, mostly Mithra. But I don't want a whole fucking direct on that one game. I'm sorry. Last time we did a thing where they talked about one game for a long amount of time. I think it was what was that damn?
The Switch Sports?
No, it wasn't even the Breath of the Wild. It wasn't even the Switch Sports thing either. It was that
like Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Life is Strange or some shit.
What?
No. If you want to be technical about it, they also did one on what was it? Triangle Strategy.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about the Shin Megami Tensei one?
The Shin Megami Tensei one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember they talked about Life is Strange for a whole presentation, and I was like, oh my god, I don't fucking care.
So, are you happy then that they actually decided to go this route for this particular game then? Since that means, okay, they're not going to have a 20-minute presentation in the main Nintendo Direct, that they're keeping it separate.
Also, I thought y'all was supposed to be pre-ordering this bitch already. I thought that happened.
No. Well, it supposedly happened, but we still have no idea when the hell they're going to make it truly available.
Wait, what? That's going to be after the Direct.
Yeah, they're going to announce it after the presentation, being like, after this Direct, it's going to be live.
Yeah, but the problem is all y'all gonna be seeing is Wario's stupid ass.
Again!
Again!
No, not the second, no, not the first time, the second time, bro.
Because everybody's gonna be online at once. Like, what the fuck? Do we learn nothing?
No, they never learn. That's
Says
supposed
Nintendo.
to hop in, you're supposed to hop in my DMs and go, yo, Xenoblade pre-ordered this shit.
This is why Nintendo has to learn something called load balancing, which apparently they don't know how the fuck to do.
I'm just assuming they're doing this only just so that way they can actually cancel all orders and be like, we just did this as an experiment just to see how people would react if maybe say a Zelda one comes or something.
Let me ask this question. How long is this Direct supposed to be?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Right, 20 minutes. Cue the sitcom laugh. But anyway. So, I also remember they did this shit for fucking Guardians of the Galaxy where they did a whole thing. Hey, after a certain point, I was sick of Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, I don't want this fucking game no more.
But like,
Damn.
I agree with what KG said though. Like, I would rather have a separate presentation for Xenoblade than have it like be mixed in with the actual Nintendo Direct, and then that takes over.
Yeah.
Because then the big complaint then for people who are not like either not fans of Xenoblade or who are just don't really care too much, they're gonna be like, well, why was this entire Nintendo Direct 20 minutes of Xenoblade? It was just a Xenoblade Direct.
Yeah, I didn't want
just
20 minutes of
divided.
Xenoblade. I wanted 20
Now-
minutes of other games.
Yeah, I
will
want my
say-
Breath of the Wild too. Thank you very much.
I will say that Nintendo does a better job with these prolonged, exclusively one game directs than other companies are. Because when other companies do it, they do one of two things. One, they have the producers talk and talk and talk and
Yeah.
talk and fucking talk. Or they'll literally show the game. They'll just show 20 minutes of the game. And after the first 10 minutes, you're over it. You're fucking over it. You don't think you are, but you're over it. Because, like, it's way more... It's different between playing a game and watching someone play a game. And after a certain time, watching someone play a game gets old. Fast. Real fast. Unless it's a walkthrough or a playthrough or a stream or some shit.
Are they gonna do like a treehouse thing where it's like they talk about the game and then afterwards they show like Nintendo people like actually playing the game?
We don't know. Nobody knows
Yeah.
as of
Okay.
right now.
Hey, my
I
name is
actually
Kyle.
like that though.
Hey, my name
when
is
they do
Kyle
that.
Williams. So this is the new Xenoblade. So as you can see, pressing the X button fucks up the game.
Stream canceled. All right, bye.
How long is this presentation? 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
I only have
Yeah,
5
20
minutes of
minutes.
content here in my hand.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I do like. You're talking about the treehouse, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the treehouse. Also, like that the treehouse is usually casual. You can watch that on your own time. That's
Yeah,
not,
like
Yeah.
I remember like especially during like when like E3 was a thing, like when Breath of the Wild did come out, they had like a whole treehouse session of just like I think one of the creators like or yeah, game directors like playing the game and she was so good at it too. So it was just people commentating around her, but like she was playing, and I just love that so much. Just because you get to see like just how the game is and how the mechanics work, and just what you get to do without like going into story and everything. So
she needs to go ahead and get that controller for the Sonic Frontiers because the person who plays Sonic Frontiers got pizza grease on his fingers. He don't know how to-
Speaking
He
about
don't know how
Sonic
to
Frontiers,
play.
what happened to that game? I thought we were supposed to keep getting more information throughout the
Shut
month
up.
of June.
Guess not.
damn.
Shut up. That's what happened to him.
Damn, bro. I just wanted to figure out if it'll happen, but whatever. Okay, so Xenoblade
Like-
Chronicles 3, once again, presentation happening later this week, implying that maybe next week we might actually be getting a full-blown Nintendo Direct focused on various titles coming out later this year and potentially in 2023. So that's all we got. That's all we know thus far. The mystery is still there. We can only just hope for the best possible outcome with this sort of thing. So let's head back and talk about the next major thing that was revealed in a presentation within last week. I don't know how many people really care about this one. It's a very niche title. Not many people know about it. So I want to talk about, for just a couple of seconds, the latest Final Fantasy trailer that had just dropped. Information specifically towards this title. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is going to be the second game in the Final Fantasy VII trilogy, as they now finally had titled it or dubbed it as. Final Fantasy VII now has been officially
Square.
confirmed as a trilogy game.
Fuck you, Square.
And if you guys know anything about a trilogy, you guys already know how a second of anything is going to be structured like, which makes me very excited to see how this game is going to be presented overall.
Disc 2 of the original fucking game you could play right now. Okay.
You Square.
Yeah, but see, they don't have pretty
Also,
visuals
KJ,
like
you want to
this.
know what's ironic? Well, TSS actually already alluded to it. Thank you, TSS. You know how many discs are in Final Fantasy VII, the original?
No.
Fucking 3!
Three.
It's 3! It's fucking 3! All they did was just separate each of the fucking discs into episodes.
You think so?
Yes! Thank you, TSS.
Because literally the first game is the first disc, which is fucking 6 or 7 hours.
Hours.
And they made that into a fucking 50-hour game.
Right. And then they took the second disc and did the same fucking thing. And then the third disc is probably going to be the third episode. All they did was just separate this shit and then make it from... This would be like if you got Final Fantasy VII and like the year... What year did it come out? What year did Final Fantasy VII come out in fucking 19...
Red Dragon, it's 3 discs. It's 1997 that came out.
Yeah, 1997. Imagine in 1997, you had to pay like a whole, I don't know, $40, $50 for Final Fantasy. And you're like, yeah. And they were like, it's a 3-disc game. Here's the first disc. Awesome. Where's the other 2 discs? Nah, you gotta wait fucking 3 years to get that other one. But I paid for all of it. Fuck you, you paid for all of it. Also, you gotta pay for each disc. But what? How much is each disc? $20.
$20.
20 years.
Oh my gosh.
No, see, that's the problem, though. It's just like, and obviously, I know it's HD. It's everybody's voice acting now. Things are enhanced. The battle system changed. It's more of an open world now. Well, an interactive open world now. I get it. That's fine. The problem is, none of it is worth the wait. It's not. It's not. I'm sorry. Most of this is pretty much them really milking off the fact that Final Fantasy VII is a popular game, so they wanted to keep that lifespan going as long as possible. They Harry Pottered this shit. It's when, like, you know, there's like 7 books, but they made 8 fucking movies because, you know, we got to cash in on that Harry Potter and we didn't want to tell it all at one spot.
I thought it was just because it was too big.
Well, yeah, the books are long. That's
I was talking about the original Red Dragon. It's 3 discs. I know because I had it. My brother had it.
Yeah.
The original PlayStation version is 3 discs.
Yeah, of course, the books are long, but what they also do is they go, oh, an opportunity in order to sell another fucking movie. Perfect. Like, they did the same thing with fucking, what was it? Hunger Games.
Hunger Games
did that. Yeah.
Maybe Red Dragon's talking about the Japanese version because I know the international version exists.
Oh, I literally just looked it up. It just says 3 disc.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant remake.
No.
No, the original game was 3 disc long.
Yeah, so they just split all 3 games up, basically.
That is correct.
Neat.
Yep.
I love it. Now I got to spend 3 individual $60. No, actually, no, 70 because that seems to be the new thing now.
No. Do yourself a favor. Go get the Steam version of the game. Get FFNX and also Seventh Heaven, the Seventh Heaven launcher, and play the game 60 FPS upscaled.
Or if you don't want to do all of that and you have a PlayStation, just wait a while. They'll wind up selling that bitch for a lower price. Or if you're a PlayStation Plus member, they'll probably give it to you for free at some point. That's how I got... The only reason I have Final Fantasy Remake 7 Remake is because I bought it for free. I didn't spend any money on that bitch. They gave it to me.
Neat.
I'm a PlayStation Plus member. I didn't spend a dime on that damn game.
Oh, yeah. So...
What's the crab thing? You're never going to get a cent out of me.
So the first thing that they actually... So before we get to that one, the first thing that they actually announced was they announced the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is the PS5 version of the first part of FF7 Remake for PC, for more specifically Steam. And they also touted Steam Deck support day one. And they are... I could tell that they're really now pushing the fact that this can play on a Steam Deck. Which is actually quite funny, considering that, you know, just about maybe 10 years ago, gaming on Linux was absolute shit, and now we are here today, where we have Steam's, like, APU handheld.
Shit. No, just kidding.
No, actually, no, it's not.
I'm kidding.
Dude.
I'm joking.
I'll tell you this much. Steam OS on like a regular PC is God. It is like the game scope, along with all the stuff there, like I mentioned before, with Hollow ISO, and hopefully maybe in the future, Valve could port SteamOS officially over to x86. It's looking really cool, and I really like it. But the fact of the matter is, this is the very first time that we have a Steam Deck compatible game being touted on a direct, or an announcement. which is really cool. And that's really going to point home the fact that now I'm hoping that more developers will get their games running on the Steam Deck, because then that means it'll mean a lot of great things for us gamers.
Indeed. And that also means Nintendo's going to have to step up their game, buddy. Because if other developers are going to go to something like the Steam Deck and not have to worry about processing with the Switch, yeah, this is going to be a big issue if Nintendo doesn't try to keep up their game. Maybe they'll announce something in the presentation soon. Who knows? But Nintendo, they gotta come up with something. Otherwise, they'll be behind in the dust again. So yeah.
Introducing the Nintendo's newest console, the Nintendo i. We think it has better graphics. Who the fuck cares? You can play Legend of Zelda on it.
And that is all.
Yeah, but you could already play Switch games on the Steam Deck anyway. So it's
and now I'm just approaching it how Nintendo would.
Yeah, I would think
because
there's rumors. Yeah, there's rumors.
Yeah,
I just know
traditionally Nintendo never talks about the specs of their shit for real. Like they never really do, or if they do, it's super brief. What they do instead is that they just say an iconic gaming mascot that we all love and say a game is coming out for that, and then they just wrap it up. Meanwhile, the PlayStation, Xbox was like introducing new fucking processors that allow you to fucking feel the skin cells of the character by touching on the touchpad, enhancing the HD to a 50th degree using all types of megahertz. You can play Kirby on this bitch. Like that's Nintendo's whole fucking advertisement campaign.
Yeah, but the thing is though, if you look at the competitors, one console is pretty much like unobtainium, and the other one is like, we have all these games that are old, but we don't really have anything new for another 7 months.
Yeah. I just want that to be Nintendo's newest slogan. You can play Kirby on this bitch.
Didn't realize Kirby was that big that they can use that character of all things. Not Pokemon, not Switch. Mario. Kirby.
That there Kirby.
That there Kirby indeed. All right, so let's continue on with our shenanigans of discussions, why don't we? So something very major is happening this week for one game in particular. And I think many people might already know what it is.
That there Kirby?
No. Woo, right. The Fall Guys.
Yay.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Free Guys.
Yeah, free Fall Guys now being free Fall Guys, bro. Because
Fall Guys was always free.
No, we spend money on it, bro.
Oh, shit, I
did? Oh, shit.
Money on that shit.
So, Fall Guys, a very popular game that a lot of us played back when it first launched, and I remember Tyrone absolutely loathing that game until he finally got that one point.
It tortured my soul. But I got that crown, so I'm good. I'm a good person now.
So Fall Guys had made a huge announcement earlier last week, I believe, during their presentation, actually they announced this a while ago, but I think they showed more footage of it recently, announcing more information and just showing off some of the new game modes and all that stuff that's coming into Fall Guys. And I have to say, it changed drastically from the last time we played this game because it's all new. Where are all the old maps that I remember? I don't even see a new map or a old map in here whatsoever. This shit looks insane. I'm really happy that it's becoming a free-to-play game because this gives an opportunity for more people to try it out and see what made it so fun and loved to begin with. There was a reason why we all played it when it came out.
Now everybody can go. I'm fucking carrying the red team right now.
I hated the team game so much, though, because I was
that's what I said.
I know. No, I know you said it, but I wanted to say it, too. I hated it.
Yeah, like the single modes are always the most fun because you have to rely on just yourself and not through the assistance of others.
I had an easier time controlling the single mode than but if I had that teamed up, I would like I'm screwed.
The one positive thing that Fall Guys gave us was mods for Left 4 Dead.
Oh God, that shit!
Look at this here, that instead of the zombies.
Dude, that shit was hilarious. Yeah, that one time we played that, and all we just saw were just woo.
I did.
Oh,
No, go ahead. No,
I was
I
just
was gonna say I did.
Oh,
no, go
Jesus
ahead,
Christ.
TG.
I love this. No, I was just
Kind
gonna
of
say.
weird because all the special fucking zombies were still normal, but the fucking Fall Guy zombies were the fucking ones.
Yeah, they were the edits. That's what I was gonna say.
So imagine getting done killing a fucking spitter, and then all of a sudden, woo!
As you hear gunshots roar.
I did vote. I did vote to play this game. I guess for whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
I want to play. Yeah, so I was like, I want to play Night Games, but forever I played Night Games.
I have my crown. I have validated myself. I don't need to play.
But validating yourself once is just about as good as
I don't
validating parking.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care. You remember that episode? You remember Toy Story 2 when Rex was like, "I don't need to play. I lived it." that.
And speaking about that community thing, Nessa, this is a good opportunity to remind those who might be in the Discord server. If you guys have yet to vote for the community game night for this Wednesday, we got Fall Guys, which is of course becoming free to play later this week. I believe tomorrow actually is going to become free
tomorrow.
to play. Jackbox, which is also another title, and Among Us as well is going to be the 3 titles we're going to be focusing on within this week. So make sure to vote if you have yet to do so. If you guys really want to see us play Fall Guys, make sure to vote for that one. Just a small reminder. So thanks, Nessa, for reminding me to talk about that right
You're
now.
welcome.
Great game, a lot of fun, and cannot wait to see what the modding community is going to do with this shit, bro. I think that's gonna be my most fun thing about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's hope for chaos, though. Fun chaos at that.
Yes.
So I want to show off a video real quick as well before we continue. Let me go and share this on screen right now, actually, while I'm doing this. So since we're talking about mods and all that, you know what? Let's go have some fun with mods and talk about the upcoming PWC match that we're going to be seeing going on in not in the PWC, but rather in Resident Evil specifically. Yeah, this is a spoiler to Resident Evil, obviously. So there was a brand new hilarious mod that got released recently of Pikachu being replacing
Oh my god!
the bastard, and
I saw.
it's so hilarious because
Wait a second. So wait a minute. You have Pikachu replacing Mr. X?
yes,
Oh my god.
and they replaced his noise with Pika. So
that's
it's cute as hell and yet super threatening at the same time. I love it so much. It is absolutely hilarious. You just see the way Pikachu walks, and also his name is Leon, so technically you could consider it as a spoiler.
Oh my gosh.
The PWC match is going to go wild. This is a little heads up spoiler right there for y'all here. Perfect shit. Anyway, I just wanted to show that real quick. I love when the modding community goes absolutely nuts and shows off shit.
There was another one where you have Thomas the Tank Engine. That was another good
Oh
one.
god, and
Oh my
somebody also
God.
did the Goose one too for that, and the Goose one is just as hilarious too. Pika Emmy is real, yay! Yeah, she is, and she's out for blood.
Yes.
That Pikachu didn't skip leg day. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, he's showing off his dumb legs.
I know.
Yeah, you see his strut though that
Yep.
With the kick
He's
me.
like, yeah, I'm coming after you.
got that walk. Oh my
Does
god!
Pikachu do like that forward punch? They're like, "Pika."
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it reminds me of the slap from Pikachu from movie 1.
Starts doing Pokken moves. Oh
Exactly that.
God. No.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the X is gonna give it to you. Yeah, we need to have that plus the Pikachu one.
All right, so let's take a look and see what else we got to talk about that's been going on within this past week, at least in the world of gaming, because we actually also did have some other things. I don't know how many people care about Dragon Dogma. I believe that got a announcement for a sequel, which is Dragon Dogma 2. And that's all. That's all we got. That's it. We only got a title.
What did you think it was going to be called? Dragon Dogma next?
I mean, that does sound pretty hyped, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Ah, shit. Damn, I'm sorry. I'm so good at marketing.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta shut it, buddy, before it gets hyped.
Damn, I went ahead and made another company billions on accident.
You saved them, bro.
I need to stop doing that shit.
So let me see what else we got going on as well that I could talk about real quick. Well, I mean, I guess we could share a little quick impressions on the Turtles game that came out earlier.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good.
So yeah,
Wet turtle game.
So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge was the recently released beat 'em up game that they had available for Switch, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and all the various consoles that might have been missed in this discussion. But the point of the matter is, if you guys like beat 'em ups from the old days on the SNES, on arcades, on any of those kind of consoles of the old era, this is a throwback to the past in almost every way possible, with a lot of refinement, just beautiful visuals, music, everything that you would enjoy is being presented at its best here with this title. And honestly, it is glorious. I really, really love this game a lot.
I can't believe you guys did not tell me about this.
Yeah. No, well, this thing's been out for months.
No, I didn't know.
Well, I mean, it's not been out for months, but the announcement has been out for a while now. So yeah,
the game has been out for since I want to say Thursday.
Exactly, just a couple of days ago. One of the coolest things about this game is that it actually has the ability to go up to 6 players online, which was actually one of the biggest shockers about it. So that was really good. We also got an opportunity to see some really amazing musicians come into the mix. As many people already know them as T. Lopes, aka the composer for Sonic Mania.
Oh my god, such good music.
Mm-hmm.
I miss those type of games. Like that was like the stuff like I grew up on, and it's like I kind of always loved that like the retro feeling.
Yeah, if you love those, you will absolutely adore this one. Me, Tyrone, TSS, and Terrell played it last week, and everybody was just grinning in joy with that game. We did have some hiccups, but I'm assuming they're going to be patched very, very soon.
Yeah, they were just
minor,
mostly just minor connection issues. But in terms of like latency, it was like almost perfect.
Mm-hmm. And that was with even up to 5 people too at one point.
Is this on Switch?
Yes, this is also available on Switch.
It's on everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on every single console out right now.
Okay.
Although I believe the Switch is unfortunately unavailable for crossplay. So if somebody owns it on PC, say, and the other one owns a Switch, you won't be able to play together. However, if you do own the Switch, the Joy-Cons are going to come in very handy for you, because you'll be able to do local co-op, which will probably be a wonderful thing for you to.
Ouch, come on. Oh yeah, and it won't have any of the internet problems.
Exactly. Hey, yo, dude, if we're meeting up in ANYC, might as well do a 6-player turtle game.
Oh yes. I was like,
Still fucking lagging. What's this?
Lag in real life?
Lag in real life?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, but I'll think about it. I'll make sure to get the game before we meet up then, so we can all play the game together.
I'm gonna definitely show this to my friend though. She will love this too.
Yeah, it's a really good beat 'em up. Like, okay, I'll tell you though, if you're expecting like a super lengthy, like a 10-hour kind of game, you have to remember, since this is an old school beat 'em up.
It was about 2 hours and 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, we had breaks and shit.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
it's
I don't care if it's short.
It's the perfect length time. It like every level feels quick. It's
it's about 2 or 2.5 hours to get through the main story, but you won't be able to unlock everything in 2.5 hours. So I'd say it'd probably take 10 hours maybe if you're not skilled to unlock everything in the game to get all of the rewards.
Terrell, KG, TSS, and I, we have experience now, so it would probably take us less time if we were to play it again.
Well, yeah, and also technically you have to beat. Well, I mean, you could just you have to get to the end credits with all of the characters to unlock all of the stuff, all of the achievements, and also you have to get all of the pickups and levels, and of course, there's also achievements for like beating the arcade mode, which is not the same as the story mode. So that like I said, all the achievements, it gives really a lot of replay value, and also the amount of and I actually figured this out. The amount of enemies on the screen are also determined by how many players are in the game.
Mm-hmm. They adjust everything.
Yeah. So it really is a nice. It really is like this is Konami perfection I mean, considering that these are based off of the Konami TMNT games that came out in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. And I
Like
believe
Turtles in
these
Time, like Turtles in Time, like for the SNES, is like highly rated as one of the best SNES games ever made.
I just want to take a minute to fangasm. That fucking Mutants Over Broadway song is the fucking shit. Oh, god damn it, it's so good.
And the music's available through streaming platforms, so Apple Music, Spotify, all that. If you want to take a listen to the soundtrack that's done from this game, it's available. It's a wordy soundtrack.
And you can definitely it's T-Loops for real. You can definitely hear like the Sonic Mania in there. Like it's so, but it's still different enough to obviously be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. It doesn't like it feels weird. It's like they're sharing each other obviously because T-Loops. But they still have an identity of their own, and I it's perfect.
Just want to say real quick, Splinter MVP, love his character, bro. In the game, every one of us was playing a separate character, and we just had a lot
I used
of fun.
Michelangelo.
TSS, who are you using?
Donatello.
And I'm assuming Terrell was.
Terrell used Leonardo.
Leonardo, yeah.
Yep. Party, dude!
So yeah, Nessa, like this gets my approval. I'm pretty confident it gets the approvals of those here as well who played the game too. And even if like someone casual who wants to play it wants to just go at it, very recommended. So
9.8 out of 10 for me.
I gave it a 9, I believe. Tyrone, I believe you also gave it a 9 too.
I gave it a 9.
Yeah. Also, yeah, like just once again, and for those who maybe not are familiar with beat 'em ups, I think people will have a lot of fun with it. Emmy, I'm not sure for you. You ever played any of the beat 'em up games?
I haven't, but this looks interesting.
Trust me, when you buy this game, if you do, most important thing, don't play it alone for the first round. Play it with friends. You have to play this with buddies. It will make the experience that much more worth it. Even if you are not a major TMNT fan, just having people around to play the game is exhilarating. It's a lot of fun, a lot of chaos. You think you'll get yourself lost at one point with all the chaos happening on screen, but really, with how the game is designed and everything, it's pretty smooth. You keep yourself on track all the time. Yeah, so wonderful game. Highly recommend people try it out. And you can also watch our full playthrough of the VOD over on the YouTube channel as well if you guys have yet to see it. And it's available there for you guys to enjoy. So do make sure to check it out when possible, of course. So, yeah, let's go and move ourselves on into the next major topics of the night then. Why don't we? Anything else that you guys think is worthy to discuss that's been going on within this past week?
What day is it?
Yeah.
What day is it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Real
Monday.
talk. What day is it?
Monday.
Yeah, but I think the holiday being on Monday kind of threw a whole monkey wrench.
The holiday?
Well, technically it is and it isn't.
My racist brother.
Because it's called Juneteenth.
Yeah.
So it was initially the 19th, but I think the observance.
Yeah, it's on the 19th, yeah.
But there's like an observance thing, and then transitions into 20 as well. I don't really know much of the specifics behind it. I just know it affected work today in some way, shape, and form. That's as much as I know. So yeah, but not much other than that. I can't specifically get the. Yeah, I just specifically don't know the full details.
You don't fucking know.
Yeah, that's the best way to say it. But it's a day for peeps, I guess. I'm sorry if I sound weird with that, but yeah, I really don't know much. I think this is like the first time I've ever seen that though, like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just that, or maybe Juneteenth hit on a different day and I didn't realize it before in previous years. But that was just for me though. Happy birthday to Gargura, by the way. Is it really Gargura's birthday today? I think the only one who would really know that better is TSS, but he's not here.
Where'd he go?
Although I did hear Garguro was, like, I believe the first VTuber to go surpass 4 million subscribers, if I'm correct.
Oh, wow.
So, congratulations. Wow. Yeah, it's cool little shit right there to kind of note about. So, congratulations there to Garguro. So, let's go and move on into some other topics that we might have to go and discuss for tonight. Before we then move on into other silly shenanigans. And I'm trying my best to look into much details in regards to what is good to talk about. And honestly, from what we've discussed so far, anyway, just judging from my resources that I got here, that's really it. I mean, like, aside from the Final Fantasy, the Dragon Dogmas, the Fall Guys, the other stuff that we discussed with TMNT and all that, I believe that was really it for like major discussions. If you guys want to talk about something mini, Pokemon Snap is a thing that's happening for Nintendo Switch Online. So there's
Yay.
that. Oh, somebody wants to ask our impressions on Lightyear, maybe. Yeah, Lightyear did come out.
I watched it on.
Who watched it here in the call?
I did.
Emmy, did you watch it, Emmy, or no?
No, I didn't. Not yet.
Wait, so you're the only one, Nessa, currently that has watched the film.
Yes.
Tyrone, did you watch it?
Wait, what? Did I watch what?
Lightyear.
No, I didn't watch that punk ass movie.
Oh my
God damn, bro.
Oh no! Like, okay, let me make it perfectly clear. I don't hate the movie. It's so random. I don't think anybody asked for it. It just sort of came out of nowhere and fucking leaped into our lives. And then, like, I think the first image I saw wasn't even the trailer. It was Buzz's fucking naked ass butt. I can't even remember what the context was. But Buzz was like completely fucking naked. And then I proceeded to see a robot cat. And then I proceeded to see fucking just random shit. And I'm just like, who asked for this movie?
The cat was the best part, so.
Yeah,
sure
I heard reviews. Everybody kept telling me Buzz's cat Socks is probably the MVP of this film.
Oh yeah, because it's following that thing it always does in movies like this. And anytime we have a movie that takes place in fucking space or takes place that involves robots or anything, the tiny little cheeky robot that speaks in fucking sarcasms or says something that's blatantly way too truthful is always the hilarious one. Like it probably said something like I estimate that there's a 94% chance that you will die. Running is highly recommended. And then they were like, "Don't tell me the odds." Affirmative, going to die, like or some shit like that. I don't know. Like
you actually nailed one of the moments in the trailer because they did
exactly.
do that. It's like 26% isn't low enough or high enough, damn it, or something like that.
Yeah, it's just
meow,
it's just cheeky robot shit.
I will admit though, there was a video that came out for like one of the little small trailers, and it showed that Buzz was having a conversation with the cat. I think they were like in an elevator heading to like a ship, and he was talking about it, like saying, "Socks, I don't need you to do any of this shit." And Socks is like, "What?" And then like some guard comes in, is like, "Wait, what the hell are you doing here? We need you to get out of here immediately." And then like Socks opens his mouth, and a dart just fucking zooms right out of his mouth and just hits the person in the neck and just knocks him out cold, bro. And then Buzz, like, you look at his face and he's so shocked by what the hell just happened. He didn't even know how to process that shit. He was like, "What the hell did you just do?" And Socks is like, hurry, you gotta get your ass into the ship before anything goes, wrong. And, like, that scene with the dart caught me by surprise, but it did get me a good-ass chuckle, though. So I will say that in itself already got me intrigued in watching the film. Unfortunately, I can't really get into reviews on my end, only because of the fact that I haven't seen the film yet, and neither has anybody else here aside from Nessa. So the only person who can really talk about it for a little bit is, well, of course, Nessa. So if you want to give your little brief review of the film before, well, no spoilers, of course. I don't know what kind of things they could spoil, but like, first impressions wise, what did you think of the film?
The movie based off the toy, based off the movie, based off a toy movie.
Yeah.
That Andy saw, by the way.
I could tell you right now from what Andy saw. I mean, like, I don't think I would have been intrigued in that movie if I was his age, because I think Andy at the time was like 5 or 6 from the first Toy Story. Mm-hmm. So I feel like for that kid of his age is a little bit more complicated. So I think because there's some yesterday I was watching like one of the reviews from from Toasted. I think, and then he was like, "Bullshit."
Oh,
He's
Double
like,
Toasted, right?
Double Toasted, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that like review, and I was like, I definitely agree because I was like, if I was 5 or 6, See, this one, like, it's kind of like it has a sci-fi and everything, but I was like, I remember when I was that age, I'm like, I don't think I would have been that into it, unless maybe that was Andy's Star Wars or something. I guess at the time, but
I want
but
you
I can
guys. Hold on. This I just want to say. I want you guys to look at this image I have right here on screen. This is a toy based on a movie, based on a toy, based on a movie about toys.
I made that joke.
I just want you to think about that because that logically is accurate right there.
Yeah, when I made that joke, I was going into it with that mindset. I was like, wait a minute, the movie based off the toy, based off the movie toy.
Yeah, but see, this is a
Toyception.
toy based on a movie, based on a toy, based on a movie about toys, though. So that's very different to what you said.
Based on a spin-off Disney show that we saw that was based off the toy, based off the movie.
Yeah, but that spin-off show based off the toy, based off the movie about toys is not the same as the toy based off a movie based off the movie about
There-
toys.
Shut up.
there was an
Yes.
image
Shut up, Tyrone. Nobody watched Star Command.
there was an image they released with I guess like real life Andy meeting
back.
Buzz Lightyear in person. But
Yes,
then there,
I will say that one is beautiful.
yeah, it was cute. I loved that. But then there was another image where Andy was sitting in the theater with all his toys, but it kind of contradicts from the first one, for the first Toy Story movie, like that other image.
Yeah,
I was like,
because there
yeah.
were some animals in or some toys in there that he doesn't get until that first movie, though. Like those three
Those
little
is canon?
aliens.
Yeah.
This is canon, but it's
Saved our
also
lives.
weird
We had
canon.
truly, we
Yeah.
had saved our lives. We are truly grateful.
Yeah,
It was
those
like-
assholes.
Yeah, it was kind of weird though. So, but I was like, yeah, it did contradict. There were some things that did kind of contradict from the first couple films, and it's like, so I don't know. So, and then especially the storyline. I know there was a huge controversy with this movie with this there and one scene in particular that everyone couldn't stop talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I think it's the
yeah.
one that got people banned. Or
Yeah,
this
it got
movie
banned in
banned.
14 countries.
Yeah,
Oh,
this movie
no.
got banned in certain countries because of
Wait,
one
what?
scene.
Why?
One scene. That's all. And
Dude,
it
'cause of one
involves
s-
mwah.
Oh.
And it's actually so stupid. It only lasted like 9 to 10 seconds.
Oh.
So your soul told me, so everyone gets triggered just by
Damn,
one scene.
the gay people can't kiss. What the fuck is this shit?
Oh. It's 2022. My
Oh
goodness.
my goodness.
I'm gonna be honest. I
well,
don't care what year it is. Let the damn people. I don't give a shit about
Yeah.
it.
and then also too, it doesn't really like involve with the story at all either. It was just so quick, just like that. It was so quick, you barely notice it. Like it was just, I almost like did not notice it because it was so damn quick.
The only time I don't like it in movies is when they push it so much to the point where it has to be the front and force and we are gay. All right, we get it. Shit, damn. Like, but,
No,
like,
yeah,
if
it wasn't.
If,
Yeah,
it,
it
if,
was.
if it's just casual, who gives a shit?
It was very casual, but there was just so many people were triggered by that, and I kept seeing it, and that's why a lot of people were giving thumbs down to the movie because of that scene.
Oh.
Only that scene alone, which is it's so stupid. I'm like,
So let me read the
to
article real quick.
to homosexuality and beyond.
Let me just read the article title. But I'm going to read the article title, and this is the image that's attached to it, by the way. Lightyear star Chris Evans discusses his thoughts on the Pixar film's same-sex kiss. And it's this image here.
This image?
Yeah. I don't know why they chose this image. Somebody even replied with it being like, is it with the cat? Whoa there, Shane Dawson.
Oh my God.
You touched me, Mr. Lightyear.
Meow, 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 meow.
I love Socks. Okay, Socks was actually my favorite in the movie. He definitely stole the show though, and I was like, I want more Socks scenes. Because he was such a helpful companion in
Dude,
the movie.
that's the biggest criticism I heard about this film because everybody said they loved Socks so much they thought it was going to be a Buzz and Socks film.
Yeah,
And then it got
was
into
sounded
plot.
it was just mostly done for almost the first third of the movie.
Plot happened.
But the other characters were interesting. I guess I guess in general they were misfits, without giving much away. But they were all right though. But I guess with them though, I was kind of like, I was like, I want more Socks.
Yeah.
But
Socks spin-off series on Disney Plus. Let's go.
yes. But I think regardless of the whole movie, though, I guess like I think another reason people probably might not like it because there was like a slight political motive in there, not too much. I guess depending like which how your political views are, but when I was watching it, it was like it made me remind me of how like right now reality has been in the last 20 years, like. Because I remember me growing up, I kind of remember more so we were like more. It was like a lot more progressive, diverse, kind of like in the 90s. But then after when 9/11 hit, just everything changed. So like this movie kind of gave me that impression from when I was watching it. It didn't bother me, but I feel like from other people who don't share the same view, they'll probably be like, "Oh, I don't like this."
We gotta remember, by the way, Andy saw this film. What the hell are we talking about here? This is the film that got Andy into buzz. Why? And we're getting into political and Chris and this cat scene, bro. I
kind of don't. This actually makes me not want to watch the movie at all. I'm
very confused.
I kind of
what the plot of this movie is.
I kind of want the picture to just be this and no context at all.
Is it with the cat?
Yeah.
That's a better plot to me. I don't want context. It's better than
I will say though, given that there was a same-sex scene, and this movie came out technically 20-something years ago when Andy was super young, that means they were very progressive in their universe, bro.
Yeah, they
got fucking arrested. Them gay ass motherfuckers put this in my movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then also the villain in this movie. I was like, I don't want to give out too much scope, but it kind of. Yeah, it's a cat. It's a cat. No, I'm just kidding. It's not the cat, but the villain in the movie, he was kind of. It was. I actually wish they kind of like just.
Wait, wouldn't it be Zurg? Hold up. Wouldn't it be Zurg by that logic?
Maybe,
yes,
maybe
but
not.
behind Zurg.
Oh, they did an Emperor Palpatine situation. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to give too much of it.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I kind of wish they.
Obviously, if you look at it, Star Wars is. Buzz Lightyear is supposed to be like inspired from Star Wars. I mean, in Toy Story 2, they straight up do the Zurg whole like Buzz, I am your father, and he's like, no, like they do that whole thing. That whole scene is coming straight from Star Wars.
Yeah, so it, but I didn't want to give out too much away. But it's like it's gonna be. I can tell you, so not exactly.
Wait, is that true? What Rad just said? This is sorry, Nessa, but like this is the movie Andy saw in his 30s because he heard the movie he liked as a child got a remake. What?
You know what? That makes a lot more sense, except for the fact that he got rid of his toys before he turned 30.
Damn,
and also,
bro.
he's a kid in the posters.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so. But overall, there was like I did like the first half a bit more. The second half kind of dragged a little bit more, and I was at one point I was like I kind of wish they elaborate. I think like towards the end scene, like the fight scene a bit more before they got into the fight scene because there was some interesting lore I thought, but then it just everything was just rushed.
Shit.
So that's the only my criticism. Like other than that though, it's to me it was pretty good movie, but not. I wouldn't say this is not one of Pixar's best because I feel like I've seen this plot before, but
yeah.
But I still enjoyed it regardless. I went to see it with my friends, so we both enjoyed it. But it's definitely to me is like maybe 6.5 out of 10.
Oh
Damn.
wow.
That's actually pretty low.
So I'm assuming the 6.5 though is all socks though.
Yeah, mainly socks. But then it's just like this. The first half was pretty strong, but once we get to the second half, it kind of like starts breaking apart. And also, I had more questions of why they did this direction. Why didn't they explain this though? Like I feel like they didn't explain it too well. So
damn. But now I'm interested to see this though. People say in chat, go watch Turning Red instead.
Yo,
I mean, Turning Red is good. Also, do it because Emmy needs representation, damn it.
Just watch Turning Red again.
Yeah, watch Turning Red. You can see like Tim Hortons. You can see Canada. You know, representation.
Apparently,
Canada.
Emmy's part red panda. We never knew about this.
Yes, I
crashed into the Twin Towers.
Turning Red is actually one of my favorite Pixar movies in a long time. So
I Somebody fucking took the scene where they're all crying because the boy band is out.
Yeah.
But they replaced the captions with they crashed into the Twin Towers.
No.
I hated that era. Well, not that era, but that time of Turning Red when everybody just started making jokes about the whole Pentagon and 9/11 shit.
They hit
Oh my
the
god.
fucking
It's so stupid. I was
Pentagon.
like, we're in fucking Canada. Why does that matter?
Because a reviewer, let's just say it like that.
Right. They
Oh,
just wanted
geez.
to like sit there and be like, why wasn't that recognized? I'm like, because it probably wasn't important.
And they're in
crashed into the
Canada.
And also, they're in Canada. Canada is like they're not grieving.
Well, not even just that. No. Whoa. Well, I mean, they are, but like, that's not even the point. Like the movie, when you're running a movie, obviously the genre has to fit the mood. It would be so derailing if they immediately just yanked in a tragedy out of pure nowhere and then just
Yeah.
got right back to the plot of the movie. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh man, I was mad. They crashed into the Rogers Center. No wonder there's so much construction. Like damn.
Wow.
In an episode of Pokemon where Ash and the others are like, I'm gonna go be the greatest master ever. Let's challenge the everybody stop. What, Brock? They hit the fucking Pentagon. Like,
But that's like another example of like because I know you're talking about the controversy and stuff, but that's like another example too, because I know people were paying attention a lot to Turning Red with like with May and like the little period scene, which was literally 10 seconds long, or not
Yeah.
even.
I
And
thought
they
that was
didn't
the
even
whole
mention
film,
anything.
though.
What?
Yeah, that was the whole film. The
It
whole
was,
message
yeah,
was
kind
about, being able to accept it. Yeah. You should have. Did you not see how it ended?
What do you mean? No, it was not.
Pentagon.
Oh, and also, I think a lot of, especially like the, I remember some reviewers were like freaking out, like where I guess like they had some sex scenes, like I guess like because May was showing her butt, but she was in panda form. I'm like, that's like really.
Yeah.
I also remember they kept saying that the movie was like talking about prostitution, where they kept saying don't be pandaing all over the place.
Oh my god.
And people pay money to see her panda in a public restroom, and they gotta pay money in order to experience her panda, and she doesn't just panda for anybody. And I'm like, y'all, if y'all don't shut the fuck up.
Also, I did look into it. You are right. The 4 towns are going to be getting a manga.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah, they are.
Oh my god! I was like, yeah, I love the music.
Is this the official artwork for it? Because if it is, holy shit, they're hot, bro.
All right, I know. Their songs are so good.
Yeah.
You mean there are 2 songs?
Yeah, the whole album, KG.
That's an EP, buddy.
I know.
Oh my god. Nah, but sincerely, though, I'm excited for that. And also, that might mean we'll get an anime adaptation. Holy shit. And then it'll be in Kingdom Hearts 4, and then we'll be all happy about it. Maybe. Yeah, apparently I'm reading right here. Viz announces Turning Red manga focusing on 4 Town.
Ooh.
So there you go. I mean, there's more information about it on their website if you want to. They announced this a couple of days ago, apparently, not that long ago.
Oh, that was new for me then.
So Turning Red become a bona fide phenomenon when it premiered on Disney Plus, with viewers of all ages becoming obsessed with the Disney/Pixar film's delightful and emotional story. As much as the series surrounds the story of Mei Li and her ability to turn into a giant red panda, one of the breakout elements of the film is definitely 4 Town, the film's fictional 1990s boy band. On Friday, it was announced that 4 Town's story will be told in a new medium, with the band getting their own canonical manga adaptation. The manga, Disney and Pixar's Turning Red, 4 Town for Real. The manga will be released by Viz Media in the second quarter of 2023 and will be written by Derchensky and illustrated by K. Alfie. And you can actually take a look at the image for yourself here. I will post it on screen right now for all of you guys to take a look for yourself. And you guys tell me what you think of them, because, oh Lord, they're hot. Good Lord. Oh, no,
shit.
he's on it.
Why are they called 4 Town when there's 5 of them?
We don't talk about that.
Ooh, okay.
No, they wanted to no, Tyrone. They wanted to go to 5 towns.
It was copyright, I guess.
I love the
according,
art style.
according to the official description of the manga, Four Townies are hyped to see Four Town performing their favorite hits live, but how will Canada's greatest boy band spend the day leading up to their epic Toronto concert? Hang with Rob Bear, Jesse, Tai Young, Aaron T, and Aaron Z as they enjoy a rare break in their busy schedules. So yeah, it's gonna be that. And that's pretty much as far as that goes. There's some other things as well here. Oh, hey, look, Chainsaw Man Part 2 is coming out soon. That has nothing to do with any of this, but but yeah,
Hey.
just reading on that. Oh no, they're hot.
Oh no, they're hot.
Oh, no,
I can't wait to
they're
read like
hot.
2 whole volumes of them just at Tim Hortons. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Wonderful. And he's gonna love every bit of it.
Yay.
There.
Why are my Timbits rotten? Like,
So it was like,
No!
it made field trip where we had to go visit Toronto one of these days.
Hey,
Guys.
yeah,
Hello.
we're visiting Niagara Falls in the summertime, so that's gonna be fun. We're gonna
Oh,
see
really?
we're gonna see an Emmy so puny on the other
Yes.
side of Canada, right there. Waiting.
Yes, I will wave to you. I legit mean that. I will wave to you. Like if it happens, then I'll just drive and I'll just be like, "Hi, KG."
Hey, pick me up, damn it! Then, if anything.
Yeah, pick you up.
I know. I do want to go back to Niagara Falls because it's been so long. Like I only remember just from pictures. If someone showed me pictures, that's all I remember of my memories. But it's been so damn long. I was like, I think when I went there, I was only 4 or 5 at the time.
Neat.
At
At least you got to experience it. I'm not yet experienced with that
Yeah,
area, so it's gonna be a lot of fun
from-
for me.
Yeah, from my late uncle, just like because he used to love driving everywhere. So we went to New York and we were there at one summer, and then my uncle's like, "Oh, since you're there, let's go on vacation." And so he drove us all the way to the Niagara Falls with his entire family.
Jeez.
And then I think also not too much later we drove all the way to Virginia.
Good
Yeah,
lord,
that's
where the
great.
hell are y'all going?
Yeah,
dude?
we
I
were
think
on-
it's
we
great
were on a
about
road
young
trip.
Nessa without giving too many details. Well, it's like what I think is great about young Nessa without giving details, because obviously Nessa's in our group, so we've seen like pictures of her younger. She's like knee high. She has like about the same amount of hair she has now, but she's tiny, so it's like a bunch of. So it's just this hair that goes over her, and it's fucking.
Oh my god.
It's
I was
amazingly.
I was
it's
actually more
unnecessarily
curly.
adorable.
I was
Yeah.
actually I was more curly when I was younger because I think
Yeah.
I think in my private socials, like post. I think yesterday for Father's Day, I had his pic, and I was like, oh, I have to post it on my story.
Oh, I
It's
thought
like-
like
It's
small
just this
Nessa.
tiny
Yeah.
girl. Yeah, it's just this tiny girl with long hair sashaying everywhere.
You know, the thing I thought you were gonna talk about was her vampire skills, because Jesus Christ, it didn't
What?
look like she didn't change much, man, since then and
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh, no, of course.
Yeah, that's fair.
She didn't age
I-
at all.
No, because the one picture I did post from not too long ago that was my dad. That was actually nearly almost 20 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
Lies.
No.
And I
I
swear
wish
to
I was
God, they
lying.
look alike in almost every way,
Oh,
even from
oh,
then and now. And it's
yeah.
just like,
It's
Jesus
just-
Christ.
and then but then I think on Facebook I had like another pic I posted, but then but I could see myself like I have aged compared to the last picture because I was like, like just like
Age,
the more
just in
wrinkles.
general.
Age. Yeah.
Yeah, and because I wasn't wearing makeup, and also I walked outside in that hot sun, so it didn't help much. So it made me look older.
When
Oh,
when
no.
God aged Nessa up, all he did was go to Photoshop and go to scale and then fucking
Yeah. And then also I didn't, and also,
Yeah, she aged. Now leave me alone.
and also my dad too. I was like, I didn't want him to look so old, so that I was just like, so I was like, I have an idea. I'm gonna put you this hat, and I'm gonna put some sunglasses, so that way it doesn't look.
Oh my gosh.
Because he definitely compared to his picture that so long ago, I was like, oh my god, it's so sad. I can't believe how much he aged. He aged bad.
Jesus.
And he actually didn't age that fast until the last 5 years. Like I think it was it was crazy. Like he was fine, fit, and everything, but just that 5 years ago he just had like a bad experience in his health. Like his health like went downhill since then, and it's just like, and then he just completely aged, and it just feels so like weird now seeing him now compared to like versus like like that so many years ago.
But that's why it's always important, ladies and gentlemen, in general, always live life full. That's the best thing I can tell you, because it's
Yes.
always live your life, have the memories that you guys can together, because those are the moments you have to cherish the most, ladies and gentlemen. It's always important to create fond memories. So, with that being said, let me share a fond memory real quick with all of y'all with one little final detail before we get into the main topic for tonight.
No, we're not.
Yes, what you got, TSS? You got, I
No,
know you said
because-
you had a thing, but I wasn't sure since you were quiet if you were gonna bring that up or not. Normally, you always
No,
tell me at the
I
beginning.
was. I was because my boss decided to call me, and I.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, well, first off, welcome back, buddy. Secondly,
Yeah.
the last thing I'm personally gonna talk about, then I should say, is probably my favorite thing that came out from this week. So, how many of you guys know about Sesame Street's banned episode?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying you're gonna have to help me out on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was an episode that came out, I believe, around the 1970s, and it was a episode that focused on a wicked witch at the time. And if you guys know, like, say, for example, The Wizard of Oz and all those kind of films for
We
children.
had a Wicked Witch arc.
Yeah, there was a wicked witch in one of the episodes on Sesame Street, and apparently it was so horrifying for the kids that they banned that episode ever since it
I want to
premiered.
see this. Hold up.
So actually, the fun thing is, it is the same Wicked Witch as the Wicked Witch of the West, which, ironically enough, this banned episode is from 1976, and then later on in 1976, on fucking Halloween 1976, you had the freaking Paul Lynde. I think it was the Paul Lynde Halloween special, which had the same Wicked Witch of the West.
I'm looking at the Wicked Witch. She's not even that scary. She just looks like the Wicked Witch. I don't get it.
Yeah, she
Because it is the Wicked Witch.
It is the
That's the
Wicked
same
Witch.
actress.
So
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't get why it was banned. She just looks like a fucking witch. Who cares?
No, you got to
So
remember,
why?
it's because of the movie that tied to it that was very scary for kids at that time. You know, with the flying
I
monkeys and all that
guess.
shit.
Okay.
The Wizard of Oz?
What?
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
movie back then was very horrifying for the kids at that age. So when they tried to make an
Really?
adaptation of that to Sesame Street, of course, no flying monkeys were included, but kids were supposedly very horrified by this episode to the point that it only aired one time on television, and ever since then, this media was completely banned in general from ever showing up on television ever again. So for about 40 something years, I want to say, it's been missing media out there until
That seems weirdly out of place for kids at that time to be scared. Because normally it's in reverse. Usually, as time passes, the generation of kids gets like more scared of shit. Whereas, like back in my day, we weren't scared of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We were like you could put murder on screen, and kids like were made a tougher stuff than this generation. Like,
Yeah, but you're
Also,
forgetting.
you gotta
You're
remember-
forgetting one thing. You have to also remember this is PBS.
okay, I mean,
And
Well,
the times are different, too.
I was gonna. I was,
no,
I was
that
gonna-
was the point. Is that times are different.
PBS was built to be the not scary and the family safe. I mean, freaking Mr. Rogers went in front of freaking Congress in 1969 to get $20 million of freaking funding to prove that they're not the same as broadcast television.
yeah.
So that's what
I'm
I'm
just
saying.
saying.
Well, not to mention. Remember, you also have to remember that Jim Henson was still part of that.
Yeah, it still feels off because normally the comment is the newer generation is softer than the older one. So this is a weird one of those weird reverse situations.
I wanted to add in something too, because also you got to keep in mind, like in the 70s, like distribution of media wasn't like widespread. Like the only thing you could get is just mainly in video. So like I remember VHS wasn't that much it was a thing, but it wasn't that popular yet.
No, it actually, technically VHS didn't even appear until 1978. You had
Yeah.
Betamax, but that was about
that was
it.
the
But
other one. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is though, nobody could afford it.
Yeah, that was gonna say that.
It was like back then. In the 1970s, you only had four. You have five. You basically had five networks. You had CBS, NBC, ABC, but PBS actually was three plus one, so 4.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Yeah. And once again, it is amazing that somehow many decades later, people have found this lost media that thought was gone forever. Now finally out there for the whole world to see and kind of question why it scared kids at the time. Uh, but I will admit though, like I stated before, there was only one thing that I could tell you from the top of my head anyway that really was probably the highlight of this entire thing. It's this image of Big Bird just in front of the Hooper store, and he just has a bat in his hand.
What?
Oh my god.
The motherfuckers
Oh.
ain't ready.
Al spinning
that's
up the spin your
beautiful.
fucking top, man.
Big Bird's McFucking had
Big
it, bro.
Bird. Big Bird, can I
Yeah.
borrow your bat, please?
Hey, POV, you about to fuck around and find out.
You're gonna see why we're called the streets, bro.
Sesame Street becomes the Sesame Streets.
Big Bird, I'm gonna borrow your bat.
And
Can I
in the
borrow your
back,
bat?
and in the background, and in the background, we have freaking you have like
Did you see
God
what
damn
that
my
picture,
fucking brain.
please?
No, my fucking
Please give
brain.
me that picture,
What's that
KJ.
brain?
Got you.
No, but seriously though, you have fucking and imagine there you have fucking Stevie Wonder and his fucking harpsichord ready to play fucking Superstition, even though that was 4 years before that.
Oh
Wait,
lord.
what's he holding in the other hand? He's holding a bat. What's the other thing?
Fuck around and find out.
I think that's a wand.
Wand, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Wicked Witch's wand.
Because
So he's using it as a trap to lure the
did he
witch.
steal Wicked Witch's wand?
You want to know
Is
what I
that
think
it?
about? You want to know what I think is great about this image?
What?
It's not the fact that he's holding the bat. It's his face, man.
He's had it, bro.
Oh
That's
my
just the
God.
truth.
He's
He's
like,
just
he's
had
ready,
it.
he's ready.
Big
He's like,
Bird said, man, the streets, and I've been in the streets too long, man.
Wait, this is
he's like,
Sesame
let's
Hood.
get it, let's get it. He's ready to fight.
He's about to defend the whole town.
They don't call me Big Bird for no reason.
You saw my motherfucking bird.
Oh
Beat you up so bad, you'll also see Mr. Snuffleupagus at the
my god. Oh my
time.
god.
You about to count to 10 on your ugly ass. The word of the day. The word of the day is try me.
Try me, boy. Try me.
Try me, bitch.
Number of the day is 187. No.
Oh my god.
Colors of the day are black and blue, boy.
This beat up is brought to you by the letter U.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
just beautiful. Beautiful.
When I get my boy Snuffleupagus, the shit is over.
Oh my god.
Big B.
Big B.
It's all yellow in this side.
Give me random colors.
Big boy.
Oh my god.
I love this. That's probably the greatest thing that came out from this lost
The
media.
more I look at the picture, the more I laugh. Look at the guy in the back. Go back.
Yeah,
Look
I
at the guy.
Yes.
He's like, what are you doing?
Oh, yo, Big Bird about to bust another one.
Big B boppity bonk. Oh, put that on there.
We about to go bird on a motherfucker real quick.
Wait, where can we watch this episode at?
I can probably find the
Archive.org.
link for you for that one if you
Oh
like.
my god.
Yes,
Archive.org, I think.
Yeah, archive.org was where we found it. I think it was in the archive Reddit as well. That's where it was also found.
When you're a flying type Pokemon and your trainer teaches you knock off instead of fucking peck.
Don't piss him off. That's what all of you say. Don't
Yeah,
piss
exactly. Don't piss off the
Dark-
big bird, bro.
Dark flying type
Yeah.
Pokemon be like.
So if you ever feel nervous or scared or anything, just show people that image and I
Big
guarantee
Bird.
you.
Yeah.
Big
Just
Bird
remember,
there.
Big Bird is on your side.
Yes.
This beat up is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Notorious bird.
BIRD.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Someone just clip all of this.
I
Boy,
know.
I'm about to
Thank
beat
you.
the bird seeds off your ass.
Big Bird's like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Who's ready?
Gee,
Who's ready?
exactly. I love it. All right, then. So
They
before we
call
move on
me
into
Jackie Hands.
before we move on into our main discussion for tonight, we got
Oh,
one last
TSS.
thing to get into. Unfortunately, TSS had an issue, which is why he wasn't able to mention it before. However, now he's fully back, and therefore gives us an opportunity to go and hear what the TSS has to say. And I'm assuming this is something that you were talking with us a couple of weeks back before you went on your break, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
So now we get to do a follow-up story on that. Would you like to let the audience know what it is that you're going to be talking about today?
All right, so what I have here is I have my complete review of the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus. Now, I mentioned before that I had ordered it from Retroid, which I will drop the link down here in the chat.
And I
It
would
is
also
a-
like it too, please, so I can also share it to the public on this side too, if you can.
Well, I already did. It's in
okay.
general.
Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, it's this thing. Okay, I'll just share it on screen.
Yeah. So here we go. So this is a $99 handheld. This has okay, so we're going to go over the specs really quickly. Then we're going to go to the cons first. So this is being powered by a Unisoc quad-core T310. It means it has one A75 big core and three A55 small cores, a PowerVR GE8300 graphics, 2 gigabytes of LPDDR4 RAM, X RAM, 32 gigabytes of built-in eMMC storage. It runs Android 9. It has 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.0. It has a 4,000 milliamp battery and a 3.5-inch touchscreen at 480p resolution, 4x3 resolution, and an integrated rumble motor. Now, okay, and it has a built-in game launcher and front end, but that's going to be in the cons, and OTA support. So here's the thing. So now this game console, or the just Chinese handheld, came out very late last year. It came out in like November or October of 2021. But then they had supply chain problems at the beginning of this year, which delayed a lot of shipments by about 3 months. But if you were to buy it today directly from Retroid, you can get it in about 3 or 4 weeks, depending on where you live. So now, as you recall, in my RGB 10 Pro review, I said that I was going to be getting this, and I was going to bring it, deliver to its paces. And to be perfectly honest, this by far, TLDR, is the best handheld in terms of value for under $100, because the things that it can do is just amazing. Now, first of all, it has several different colors. I have the orange. So let's go over the cons first. Con number one, the square shape of the console itself. I know some people have said that it does dig into their hands. I haven't personally had that issue, but I could definitely see why. You know, you have to kind of claw it. You have to have your index fingers wrapped among the top of it, like near the R2, the L and R buttons on the top, and I think there is a fraction of a millimeter gap between the top and the bottom part, the bottom of the screen, as in, if you look at the screen directly, there, on my unit at least, on both sides, there's about maybe a fraction of a millimeter difference in the gap. So I actually feel like a little gap going from the top to the bottom. And I feel that the adhesive is probably not even. But then again, though, I can't completely blame that, because my original 2DS from Nintendo actually had the adhesive actually come off, and the front screen come off. So this is just an issue with my unit, but you know, build quality otherwise is excellent. The other con is that the L2 and R2 buttons are not analog triggers. So that means that if you were trying to play any game that requires analog triggers, it's just digital only. Another con, the Retroid launcher, the RP2 Plus launcher, is ass. Now they have admittedly, the Retroid has issued updates to improve this, but my biggest criticism of the launcher is especially when you go into the emulators portion. Even if you have no intro ROM sets, it does take forever to scan the ROMs. So even if you, supposedly there's supposed to be like an internal database where if you have the no intro ROM set, it will scan it automatically without having to do like hashes to check the files. That's further from the truth. Also, due to the nature of this launcher, it sometimes errors out, and you have to do the configuration again. I've actually had that happen a couple of times, and that's why I don't like the launcher. The buttons are, well, if you want to know what the buttons are, the L2 and R2, they are not, the L1 and R1 are micro switches. You hear that? The L2, R2 are a little bit clicky, but not too much.
That okay. I was like,
so
where the hell is that
buttons-
noise coming from?
Yes. So the face buttons themselves, they are small. But let me get to the rest of the cons first. So I would recommend just using the standard AOSP launcher because this is Android. It's an Android handheld. So use AOSP launcher, or use another front end launcher like Dig, or if you want to pay the damn money, you go do like Launchbox or something. Another con. There is no L3 and R3 clickable buttons on this, which is kind of a shame, considering that this does do game streaming very well, considering that this is a 4x3 handheld. Also, the right analog stick is actually a slider. It's similar to it. It has the top of a Nintendo Nintendo Switch analog stick, but it has the features of like the 3DS analog slider, which is not bad, but people would have liked an actual analog stick like on the left stick. Some people would say that the D-pad placement is kind of off, considering that this is a retro gaming handheld. Some people, they'd like to have the D-pad on the top, but as I've been using this, I would disagree with that. It actually works pretty well. And I guess the only other con that I would say is, while it does play some GameCube and PS2, it doesn't play it very well. Although there are configurations that come with Dolphin that does make games playable, but not smooth, but it does play. So that's all I have for the cons. Now let's go to the pros. Number one, obviously, is the price. It is $99, but what you get for $99 is far and away better than any handheld that you can get for this money, in terms of power, in terms of performance, and in terms of value. The two front speakers sound great. They are, considering that some handhelds for $100, you only have like a mono speaker. So Saturn. So yeah, you never talk about Saturn. Saturn, like I said, if you want to know about Saturn, you can go and pretty much look at reviews. I mean, the Saturn performance is not going to be great, but I think you can. But I think with like Yaba-san Shiro 2, you can get some okay performance. You're probably with like 6 frame skip for some games, but not all. So the other pro. This plays pretty much 99% of the PlayStation, not the N64 and the Dreamcast library. And it does it very well. Like, for example, the only game that I really had a problem with on this system is Yoshi's Story for the N64. There are a couple of other titles as well.
Not my
But
Yoshi.
here's the thing. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Now, the thing is, though, with that being said, if you go on the Retroid Reddit, they have specific configurations that you can put in to N64 and Dreamcast to get better performance. I have used the Glide N64 plugin for Mupen 64 FZ Pro, or I think it's called M64 Pro now, FZ. And like I said, all of the stuff that I've tried, it works very well. It plays Cruis'n USA, which is arguably one of the hardest games to emulation.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then it plays Pokemon Puzzle League, and then it does very well. It does very well at N64. It does better than any handheld that's under $100. In terms of N64 performance. Dreamcast is perfectly fine. Some games you might have an issue with Redream, so you can actually play it with frame skip on Flycast and it works fine. So, like I said, your Sonic Adventures, your Sonic Adventure 2s, they'll work fine. Your Soul Caliburs, they'll run fine. Crazy Taxi 1 and 2, they work fine. So again, it's really this machine was basically designed for like N64 and Dreamcast. Now, PlayStation is kind of a weird anomaly because you can play it at 1x on like Duck Station or Swan Station. However, though, you can't really do like 2x resolution on hardware because what ends up happening is you'll get some artifacting. So leaving it at 1x resolution is fine, but that's a bit of a disappointment. But otherwise, it looks great. As for other consoles as well, so DS emulation with Drastic is flawless. You could turn frame skipping off and turn the high resolution on, and you can and even though it is a single screen, the touchscreen functionality works. So you can just swap the screens as needed. So it works perfectly fine there. PSP is a mixed bag for some people. It will play most of the games fine at 1x resolution, but God of War will not really work. And pretty much all of the retro consoles up until the N64 can be played via RetroArch on Android. I would say up to PlayStation 1. Atari Jaguar never works well, even on higher end systems. Even x86 systems have a problem with Atari Jaguar, so forget about Jaguar. But everything else, aside from Saturn, you can play pretty much on this handheld without batting an eye. Without batting an eye, really. So, therefore, then you have the bonus stuff, which I said is the GameCube and the PS2 performance. Now, so the GameCube performance, it comes with a version of Dolphin called Dolphin for Handheld. And already it has custom config files, pretty much the entire library, to make the games run pretty much at their maximum potential on it. But like I said, don't buy this handheld for GameCube performance, because you're probably only going to play about maybe 15 or 20% of the games at a playable thing. Like I played like American Pro Trucker 18-wheeler, that was playable. Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2 were playable, but they're not exactly full speed, but they are playable. They don't have any audio choppiness. And Simpsons Road Rage. So the basic stuff will work fine, and to some extent you probably could play like Wind Waker as well. But like I said, it's like it's not exactly what you would consider playable. And the PS2, the light stuff like Kingdom Hearts and like I guess Capcom vs SNK is gonna work. But everything else is kind of a crapshoot. But again, you're gonna get frame drops and frame timing issues. But there's only one thing I wanted to let you guys know, and this is not even told. Nobody tells you this on reviews. If you are going to use some sort of a drive sync service, such as what the fuck? If you're going to use a Google Drive service or folder sync service that will sync your save files between like different Android devices, for example. In my experience, and this is firsthand experience, if you use any of the RetroArch cores and you use RetroArch in general, do not put your save folder in the SD card, because it will not even write to it. You must have your saves on the internal storage, and otherwise you will not be able to save. Because I remember that I had my saves on the SD card, I copied it from the internal storage, and then I synced it to the cloud, and then I played about an hour of Legend of Dragoon on it and I tried to save it, and then when I got off the plane and I checked a couple of hours later after I checked it, the game didn't save. So you need to have all of your save files on the internal storage, and to be honest, the save files don't really take that much. Another pro of this, and this is the most important, I think, it has HDMI out. It has micro HDMI out at 480p. And it works because I've actually gone on the Champions League server, for example, and I have shown off this in action, like, game output, and it does work. It outputs at 480p, 4:3 aspect ratio, and it works great. So, that is a step up for the cheap handhelds. Also, like I said, with now with game streaming, Steam Link works surprisingly well. And anybody remembers about 15 years ago, everybody had that whole question of, can it play Crysis? Yes! Exclamation point. Because while it does play Crysis streamed off of Steam Link, you cannot complete the first part of the game because you need to press L3 in order to crouch, which you can't do on here. But Steam Link does work. I have played Sonic Mania on this, streamed from Steam Link, and it does work. So it does work, but you have to be wary that this is a small screen, and 16:9 stuff will just get squished. And the other thing is, even though you will have pillar boxing or letter boxing with, like, let's say 3:2 aspect ratio games such as GBA or PlayStation Portable, they do play it. But I would say overall, in terms of value, now I will say this is the last ARM-based handheld that I'm buying that's under $100. Because unless if there are other chips that blow this one out of the water, like the RK3566 chips that you see right now coming out, more specifically on the Amberneck, like was it the 353P? The RK3566 pales in comparison to this because it doesn't even have it has all 855 cores and it's not as fast. It can't even play Dreamcast, that chip. This one can. So unless if there is a new chip that comes out that beats the crap out of this one at $100, this needs to be stated that this was the last ARM handheld that I'm going to be buying that's under $100. The next handheld that I'll probably be buying is either going to be a Steam Deck in a couple of years, or there are some device manufacturers that are making Intel and AMD ones that are around $150 and $200, and those are the next ones up. But overall, this handheld gets a 9.4 out of 10. It is, in terms of value, it is great. However, though, if you want to play PS2 and GameCube, buy yourself a phone, like a used flagship phone or a new flagship phone, whatever, with at least a Snapdragon 845 or 855 and up, like 865 and stuff, and just attach a controller or attach like a Xbox One controller to it. Then you'll have a better experience. But for a dedicated handheld for less than $100, this gets my seal of approval. And you can get it at getretroid.com.
Nice. Thank you for your review on that, buddy. Much appreciated.
You're very welcome.
All right, then, ladies and gents. So if you guys heard that review already and you are thinking about testing it out, you got TSS's all review right here to get an idea as to what you should look forward to when purchasing said console. And no, I'm not buying 250 copies of it.
Also, expect
the capitalism.
Also, expect probably if you order it today, you'll probably get it in a month's time because they at least caught up with all of the logistics stuff.
Take your money now. We see you next month.
Also they have a nice case which I have here complete with a lanyard for like $25. And
take your face, get that case.
Yep. So,
all right.
But So buy it today. If anybody wants, so folks, as always, if you have any other questions about it, you could always let me know, and I'll be on Discord.
Retro your doll hairs.
Indeed. So if you ever want to interact more about that idea, make sure to follow his Twitter. If you want to,
I seen him do it.
So make sure to go check that out, everybody, and we'll keep you guys up to date more on his thoughts on that if he ever decides to share more of that in the coming weeks. But for now, I am very happy to see that it is something for the pricing anyway. Looking pretty solid for the most part. It does have its hiccups, but I think for what you're getting is probably for the best. No.
Yeah. Now you can play. Now KG can finally play his Yoshi's Island.
I know, but I can't play my Yoshi story, so that gets a boo out of me. No. Joking aside, though, I am excited to try it out when I get a chance.
Did you play Yoshi Stories on the Switch, KG?
I have not, but that's also because I play it on the PC at the moment. So, but I do want to try it out at some point. I did hear that Pokemon Snap, and I think we talked about this before. It's coming out soon, and I think Pokemon Snap is the last thing they ever announced for the Nintendo 64 lineup at this point for NSO. So we don't know what the next one's going to be. So that's going to be a mystery right there. So for now, we'll discuss more about that if they ever do some sort of direct next week or something. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
In the meantime, ladies and gents, I believe we got all of our topics discussed and talked about and whatnot. So with that being said, I think it's time for us to finally get into this discussion that's been long overdue. And by long overdue, I mean just like 3 days or so since it premiered. And we have much, and I feel like we have much to talk about with this one. So before we get into it, though, first things first, let's try to set up the order behind this. Because I know Tyrone said he wanted to go last for this one. If that's correct, Tyrone?
Uh-huh.
All right, so Tyrone said that, but let's go and set up the order in the meantime. I always start off on my end. Who wants to go after me?
I can go. That's fine.
All right, Emmy. And then soon after that, you know what? Let's pass it on to Nessa, and then we'll pass it on to TSS, and then Tyrone, if that's all okay with you guys.
Also, KG, I'm mad at you.
Oh, shit.
I'm mad at you. You did a poll. What points do I have left?
I didn't make the poll. What poll are you talking about?
Who made a poll? I don't have any points left. I don't think anyone has any points left after that last one.
Excuse you accusing me about some shit that I didn't do?
You know what the fucked up thing is?
Right.
They lose. They already lost. So because they can't do math.
Understand the question?
They can't do math, so they already lost.
No, I think what's more hilarious is just the way it's written.
Yeah, that makes it even worse.
Oh man! But I think that's gonna be the power play right there. Will people vote for the right one? Also, I should do a reset of the Gumi points because I do want to create a new thing. But if everybody had like a bajillion points to begin with, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a new goal in some point in the future. So that's gonna be fun. So I'll reset.
There's a question.
Yes.
There's a question regarding that. When they say "do not like the episode," is it like what score would it be given?
I'm assuming there's probably online normally on school anything above a 65 is passing, but below that is failing. Yeah, because if you get a 60, you pretty much failed the exam or something.
Okay.
Here's 50. What the heck? Okay, never mind.
Now, you see, logically, that makes sense. If you're above 5, you passed. If you're below 5, you failed. But I'm going school-wise with this one, and it's like, no, you need a 65 or above to pass.
Canada, I'm pretty sure every other country except ours has a higher standard.
Yeah, we put ourselves on a pedestal that's impossible to ever reach, buddy.
No, that's why I asked it to clarify.
It's called Pilot Wings logic, where they need you to do a 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in America, that's the No Child Left Behind things. So.
I know for my when I was at school though, like basically failing was like below 70%.
Exactly.
What?
Damn. Yeah. In different parts of states, they always have things, man. Yeah. But C's get degrees, peeps.
Yes, you do.
Or
Yeah, I missed my. I was absent like 90% of the time. I failed every exam. Was late for all of my classes. Still passed though.
In
So.
Japan, C's get you kicked out of the house.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Pair of C's get you disease.
Right, let's go.
Hey!
The bad thing there is if you have below 70% though, if you fail the class, then you have to repeat the
Redo.
whole entire
I
read.
gotta see that. See yourself out of the door. Like,
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So before we continue, though, congratulations to that two-person victory that happened the other day, winning all those goddamn points because somebody clicked on yes. So once again,
My-
I wasn't in charge of that, so I can't say anything. I was
Okay.
reacting to an episode. There were people
My-
behind the scenes who were moderators who took control of things that were beyond my control. Let's just say that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go take this opportunity right now to go and mod Cosmic just in case, because I keep forgetting that. Actually, where's Joker as well? I'll get.
it's been this long you haven't done that.
Yeah, right. I was like, shit, what the fuck? How did I forget these two homies, my two buddies, up in the mix? So, gotta give some of the sisters some love here. So there you go.
Yeah, Sister
Just saying
Dash.
hi and gotta go. Lol, Dean, what happened, buddy? Oh man, he came to say hello. Thank you for your cameo appearance on the X and Y review, buddy. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, you guys all ready to begin in this call?
That's rough.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right
Get it.
then. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to give a heads up before we get into tonight's discussion, because we have to make this abundantly clear, just to make sure everybody is on the same page. We have our opinions. We see things not in the same eye. We see things very differently, and that's okay. Not everyone's going to agree on the same thing. Not everyone's going to disagree on the same thing. It's just how things are. And there is no reason for any of us to seem like any of us has a wrong or right answer. Everybody's just expressing their opinions on what they think of the episode. Nothing more and nothing less. It's not factual. It's just our take. And so don't go over the board or whatever they say with these sort of things. We just like reviewing these episodes because it's fun. And also because of the chaos as well. So with that being said, time to watch the world burn with tonight's review of PM 2019, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get right into it. Today's episode, and the last one for this month, because I think we're going to be going into a 2-week break after this episode,
Yes.
titled
Thank God.
The Curtain Rises, the Masters Tournament. So, with that being said, let us go ahead and jump right into it. The curtain rises for the Masters Tournament, the greatest tournament in all history, and the one that's going to determine the absolute best of the best at Pokemon battling. And Satoshi and Go have gone to Shoot City in the Galar region where the playoffs will take place. There, Satoshi encounters Dande's younger brother Hop, and a battle suddenly starts between the two. Afterward, Go and the others decide to watch the matches with Hop. So, yeah. And the first match of the round, a battle between Dande and Alain, is about to begin with Satoshi walking. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. So, I'll give my brief takes on it. I've already dabbled on it like 2 times through both the reaction and the review portion on Saturday's thing. So I'll just give a brief synopsis, but I do also want to clarify on certain bits that I might have either missed out on or maybe have worded it a little poorly, so I can reiterate here for tonight with y'all. So I will say this, and let's begin with the big pro for what the episode is trying to achieve. Okay, and I know not all of us are going to agree on this, but the whole premise behind this, and I think a lot of people can pretty much be in agreement, we all expected the outcome. That was something that I think everybody was already with the mindset of, Alain was going to lose this fight. So it wasn't something as a shock to the world. It was just more so, okay, it went down. We knew it was going to happen. So that can only mean that maybe, just maybe, despite knowing all of this, you might take things a little bit differently. At least treat the character fight with a little bit more respect. When I made the discussion prior to the episode and watching it, I even mentioned it to myself. I hope that the battle doesn't actually begin fully in this episode and we only get to see a small portion of it that leads into the next one, because I would rather the episode mostly focus on the stuff that's built up upon. I want to see these characters interact. I want to see these characters talk with each other, set up fights that are going to go down, and try to build up what this whole thing is about. Because once again, this isn't any league, or this isn't any like any small Don George battle. This is the Masters 8. It took us 3 years to finally get to this point. It's been built up to this moment, to watch these characters all be together who have fought against hundreds and thousands of trainers to get to the 8 positions that are available here in the Masters 8. And 7 of them are currently controlled by champions. So let's begin with the positive. That's also weirdly a negative. I'm just happy they finally did it. What took them so long? I'm so surprised it took them this long to finally acknowledge Ash's championship. It's almost like, okay, we heard you guys. Jesus fucking Christ. We'll say Ash is an Alola champion, bro. And so they say it. So yeah, I guess for those who are big Alola champs out there that have been rooting for that message, you finally got your wish in this episode. So hurrah on that. So that's one pro. But yeah, just going all around left and right, just thinking about what to talk about here. Probably should have had a list set, but whatever. Another thing I guess I should talk about, my favorite thing is the first half of this episode. I genuinely enjoyed the first half. I think for what they're trying to establish, everything was looking good. They were just introducing characters, reintroducing characters, setting up things, and just getting the show on the road. So I will admit, during the time I was watching this episode, watching the first half, I was genuinely looking forward to what was being given to me, because I didn't know what the second half of the episode was going to be at that time. And then we get to the second half of the episode, and this is where we're going to see a very big split conversation, because this episode feels like 2 episodes in one. The first half of the episode being the curtain rising, which is the setup of this whole champions thing, and then the second being the tournament finally commencing with the battle between Leon and Alain. For Leon fans, I can't speak for them because, well, everybody has their own entitlement for this sort of thing, but I will say, okay, I understand the whole premise behind this episode, and just in general was always meant to be one thing only: to showcase how strong Leon is as a character. And that's something that the series unfortunately has to deal with, because they put themselves on such a huge pedestal that they have to make sure that what they're doing is as as confident as possible with like what they wrote down at the beginning of this series. They said he is an undefeated champion. He is the strongest trainer, at least in the championships. He's considered the strongest trainer in the world. That's why he's number 1. So with that in mind, unfortunately, that comes at the cost of, poor Alain having to be the user to that example to push that message by absolutely beating his ass up, in this fight in such a horrific way that we got to see him lose so quickly. A character that many fans pretty much grew attached to, because we got to also remind people, XY, for many peeps who grew up with the series of Pokemon, was probably where they came back and hopped into the anime series. XY was the hype at the time when it first came out, both in the video games and in the anime, because it did some very big groundbreaking achievements that it stood on its own, that I think even till future generations of anime came out still has some identities that can be on its own 2 feet, something that no other series has been able to replicate, such as the 3D motions and the way the battle styles are done. That will always be X and Y strong point, and for many people that's what people enjoy the most, and therefore was why new fans and old fans have jumped into X and Y. And therefore, that comes to the character that we're going to be talking right now, being of Alain. He is a major, major character from that series. So major, he had 4 different acts on his own to talk about that built him up to get to the X, Y, and Z series. And that's when we get to the fight at hand. When you see how much a character has grown, when you see how much a character has been established throughout their storytelling on a series prior, and you bring that character back in this series, that I think one of the things that fans would like to see is to remind audiences what made those characters so beloved in the first place. What did they achieve that made us grow to appreciate these characters? And I'll be honest with you, I feel with this episode, I didn't get to see that. I only got to see the character back, the voice actor behind the character back, and his Pokemon. His one Pokemon that came back in this episode. And there was a sense of disappointment that I felt when watching this episode. Only because, like I stated at the beginning, and I want this to be abundantly clear, I 100% agree that, yes, for Leon's narrative, this is an essential thing to be done. And Alain had to be the one to showcase that gap in strength, because that's the premise behind it. We're trying to remind audiences that he is the strongest trainer in the world. Yet, knowing all of this and acknowledging everything that we've seen from Alain's character up to this point, I still cannot help but feel disappointed by the direction this episode had taken place. And that's only because of the fact that I feel we start incorporating our own mindset into this episode. And what I mean by that is that a lot of us are under the assumption, or at least I'm just going to ask you guys in the call real quick. Did this episode do its job when it came to showcasing how strong Leon is as a character? I'm not talking about like just the choreographs or the battling or anything. I'm just talking about what has been achieved with beating Alain up so quickly like that. Did that showcase how much of a strengthening gap there was between the opponent and Leon?
Yes.
Yes.
Sadly.
Okay. What about you, Taran?
Sorry, can you reword it? I'm sorry.
Okay. I asked, did this episode, not counting the battles or anything, just the messaging behind Leon's strength, did like despite all the negative things we might have for it, did it still do what it needed to do, whether poorly written or not, to showcase that gap?
Right.
To showcase that gap of strength between Leon and Alain, I guess I should say.
No. It didn't do that at all. What it
Okay,
I'm not gonna go
I'll
too
let
much
you
into
save that
tangent.
for then.
Yeah, because it's your part. But
Okay, no, I'm just making sure, because see, you are the one different there compared to everybody else who had said yes on this one.
Well, okay, so when they say yes, are you guys saying yes in the sense that it made Leon look strong?
No, it's to
No.
like no.
Like the messaging. Like
The
what was
messaging.
the message
Yeah.
that they want to get across?
Yeah.
The message.
I don't
the message.
see what
the
message they were trying to
suggests-
get across.
Well, that's what KG's asking, right? Like if
Yeah.
if Leon is strong, like the strongest in the
Well,
world.
I knew that the minute he was ranked #1 in the goddamn start of his debut. The show
reason,
tells me
okay,
that.
so allow me to explain why I said this to begin with. Because the reasoning why I wanted to ask he's so OP is because there was one message, or many messages, I should say, that I've been having conversations with online, and I wanted to bring it up real quick just to see how others feel about it. And that's because of the fact everybody kept saying the same thing. They did a wonderful job showing Leon's strength in this episode by showing that gap in strength to the point that Alain couldn't even bring out his third bond into the fight, and how playful Leon was in that fight by Gigantamaxing Rillaboom and all that.
We worded like that, yes, but it also, there's a downside to that.
Yeah, and
But for
that's what
now,
I'm going to get into,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to bring that message up.
All right, yes. I mean, it did there, but
Yes.
there's a punishment that comes to that.
And that's maybe not the same one I have in mind, but I want to bring it up. So, yes, for the viewers, I think it's safe to say everybody had that mindset, that it did what it needed to do. Here's the biggest problem, though. And this is the question I want to ask. Did any of the characters react to that strength?
Oh, absolutely the fuck not. No.
No.
Because
No.
that's my biggest criticism with this episode. Yes, for us, the viewers, we get to see that strength. we get to see that big gap between Alain and Leon. But nobody reacts to it. I was thinking in this episode that because of how strong, and you got to remember, once again, since Ash knows all these characters and especially has had a hard time fighting against Alain back in the X and Y series, you would think he would push that message of like reminding the audiences, yes, he was a very powerful opponent. He was such a strong character that I had to go up against in the league to the point I never beat him before. But when Alain lost in this battle, Ash didn't react to it. Ash didn't say anything about it. He didn't like, well, I wouldn't assume Ash would act this way, but I was hoping that he would at least be like, wow, you know, somebody who I had a hard time fighting against was suddenly swept away in under minutes. And like that's my biggest criticism with this episode. I see what they're trying to do. I just wish that we, the viewers, weren't the only ones to get that message. I wish the characters themselves had also, in a way, responded to how quick this battle was. Because I think that would have done a better job at like just pushing that message, despite who had to take that L, by letting the people know, okay, there is this really big gap here. The only thing that really happened was that Ash was wooing over the Mega Charizard, making an appearance, and just saying that was a good battle or something like that. But that's as far as that goes. I just wish, because like to me, I've seen many anime and many tournaments, and yes, I know anime and things are always different alike, but I always love it when a character can feel the tensity behind an opponent that he will eventually, or she will eventually have to face. And that's always the best thing. You want to set it up. You want to make the audience feel as tense as the character. But when you're the only one feeling that and the other one is still feeling giddy about it, it feels disconnecting. You know, you don't feel like you're with the character. You feel like you're your own character and the other one who's the main protagonist is not reacting to what it is that you're reacting to. And that's where I fall flat with this episode. I understand the choreograph is bad. I understand the way the battles was structured very poorly. Like hell, Emmy's sister Joker literally time watched this thing to question how long the battle actually went, and it was under a minute. And I'm like, good lord. So yeah,
46 seconds.
yeah. So I was thinking like, you know, it makes me sad to think that I wish, because yeah, actually, you guys bring up Brock did that shit.
Huh? Did Joker count the transformation sequence or no?
I don't think I don't think so.
The
but she's in the chat, so she can answer.
It was like a minute and a half with the transformation.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Yeah, it was like a minute and a half. Yes, no.
Oh,
okay.
Wait, she said yes, no. I don't know.
I didn't.
Okay, no, she didn't. She didn't do the transformation.
She did only the battle at hand, because if you did the transformation, I believe it would then go up to like a minute and a half. Yeah,
it was a minute and a half.
Yeah, but if you just count the battle, it's under a minute. Just the actual fight, it's just under a minute.
I was actually doing that too. I was like, out of curiosity, because someone said they started counting. I was like, ooh, it was something I used to do sometimes, just out of like, just to see how it is. But I was surprised. Like when I counted, I was like, damn, like really.
So the funniest part about it as well is that it is equal to the exact amount of time as the actual battle he had back in X, Y, and Z with Trevor. And literally, when both of the Charizards got knocked out, both of the Charizards got knocked out under the same frame as well. in the side-by-side comparison. So yeah.
There are Trevor memes out there, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, the Trevor... like, if there's anything we could talk as a pro, the Trevor memes are probably some of the best things. I love the one they show him on Twitter. He's like, hey, you got what you deserve, bitch. And then it's like, Alain blocked you or some shit.
I lost it. I actually lost it when I saw that tweet. I was like, that was the funniest shit ever.
Yeah. Like, I will admit, like, some of the memes were good for what it did. But yeah, going back to the episode... so once again, I felt disconnected with what the narrative was trying to push, despite knowing full well what the narrative is doing. I just wish the characters felt that felt that like what we were feeling, but it didn't do it, and that's where I feel like it falls flat under. So the other thing as well that I wasn't a big fan too was this might be the last time we see him. This is it. This was
Yeah.
his last big moment, building up to him coming back, and only to be swept under the rug in just under a few minutes. We don't know if he's gonna stick around. That's the thing. We don't know if he's going to still stay and watch the rest of it. I'm assuming they're going to, because probably at the end they're gonna have all of the characters look at whoever the champion is and watch them with the crown being crowned as the monarch and doing the clappies in joy for whoever that winner is. But other than that, I don't think we're gonna see them have any dialogue. Which is why
My
I was
question.
saying I wanted this whole episode to have been like how other leagues were like, or how other, like the Alola League was a perfect example. I'm pretty confident the Alola League didn't begin with a battle at first. It wasn't it an episode just setting up the league with all of them being at the area, reintroducing all the characters, all the fighters and whatnot, and then the following episode they began the whole 151 battle royale. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I don't know, but I think if not that one, what about the Sinnoh League? Didn't they have the whole ceremony introduction and all that?
Yeah, it was like the
Yeah.
entire episode.
Yeah, and so then that's when they teased, okay, there are certain rivals that are appearing here. We know they're going to be fighting against this character and whatnot. But it was a wonderful way, because what did it do? It reestablished all the characters, brought back all the ones that are going to be mandatory in the series, and see what's going to come out of it. So for that, I think it did its job right.
Hmm.
That's why I have problems with this one, because it cuts that in half and goes straight into the main plot of the episode. And I feel had they done it to where it's just like the first 20 minutes is just pure flash to the past, reuniting members and companions and all that stuff again. And then the last minute is like Charizard and Charizard meet in the end, and it's to be continued. And that would be better build up, because now we have this 2 week gap. I would have loved it
Yeah.
if they did that, because that would have made things more hype, I believe, had it been done in that approach. Because that
I
way,
do.
now we don't have to worry about this weird 2 week taste in our mouth with the outcome of this match, and seeing how it left such a negative taste in many people's mouths. We don't have to worry about that no more, I guess.
I
But
do have a
unfortunately,
question.
the episode, the episode went a different route with this one. Yeah, the episode was very controversial all around. Hell, even like, well, it's nothing new per se, but audiences seem to be very divisive about the episode. I just shared my opinion overall. If I was to give it a rating, I give it like a solid maybe 4 out of 10. I'm a little saddened by it, but I do understand what it's trying to achieve, and I do understand that they're trying to showcase Leon's strength. I just wish from the battle portion, I think I'll let Tyrone handle that one, because I feel we both share similarities on that. uh I'll let him take care of that. But to me personally, and the only reason why I give it a 4, once again, Dill, just to remind people, yes, the episode sucked a lot when it came to the battle, but I can't ignore the first half of the episode, which I thought was really good. And then, as I mentioned, when I first saw it, I thought it was a genuine build up to then more interactions be presented on screen. Of course, as you saw the episode, that didn't turn out to be the case. Hell, even Ash didn't stick around in the main area along with all the other characters, because he decided to say, "Yo, I like being in the stands." So there you go. So that's my take for a solid 4 out of 10. Is it even solid at that point? I don't know, but it's a 4 out of 10 on my part. And if there's anything else I might be missing off the top of my head, I'll probably ask if I could just hop back in for a second and bring that up. But for the most part, I think I got what I wanted to say across, and I hope people will understand my perspective on the episode at hand. And now we have a 2 week gap. So now, with that being said, I shall go and pass it on to the next buddy here. Emmy, you are right
Yes.
next. So please go right ahead and tell me your input on the episode.
All right. Well, I mean, you covered most of like the pros and the cons that I was gonna say, but if I guess I'll just go through my list and see if there's anything different. In terms of like the pros, I guess I have to acknowledge like the Ash and Iris, just their bond and being able to see them like really excited was really nice to see. And I think Iris kind of stole the show in this, especially with her um like selfie with Cynthia and Diantha. I think that was really nice. The fact that they brought back even Marin and the Professor Sycamore as well, they didn't have to do that. I mentioned this as well in the discussion thing, but Just even seeing them like as PNG files, just cameos, I think that's more than enough than what I wanted for like the Masters 8 to see people supporting them. And also like even the music too, like seeing Miyazaki's music being used when the Mega Evolution transformation happens. I think that was really cool. I sent this image to KG as well, but I think the most relatable line from this entire episode is the Rotom for Team Rocket's at the end just being like, "I'm tired, break time." I think that was the most relatable thing, and I'm like, you know what? After watching this episode, 100% agree. And speaking of Team Rocket as well, I think continuing their podcast of seeing them in this episode was really nice, just because I love Team Rocket when it comes to the leagues, because they're always doing something cool, like either selling snacks or they're like reporting like just the losses and the wins. I thought that was really nice. In terms of the cons, I didn't like this episode. I really didn't. I'm not gonna repeat a lot of what KG said, but in terms of stuff that I guess I can bring, in terms of just Alain's, I just feel like he was so out of character in this. They didn't show what Alain was in this episode, which bothered me so much. It very much did bother me. And especially him saying like, "Oh, it was my dream to fight against your Charizard." Since when? In off-screen land? When did we see this? It felt like they just brought him back to prove that Leon is strong, and that was it. But we gave him no chance. We gave him no struggle. I think that's the biggest issue with this episode, is just we didn't see the struggle. We didn't see the full-on battle. It just hurt, you know?
And she's gone.
Wait, something happened?
Oh,
yeah, I'm
shit.
here. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you cut off or something. I was like, oh no, the internet.
That's
Did
for
the
dramatic
stream die?
Pause for dramatic effect.
No,
I saw
weird, so I was like,
you were muted. So I was like, is she okay?
Yeah, I was trying to figure something out. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. But anyways, yeah. So like I was saying too, it's just I feel like Leon was very out of character for this episode. It hurt to see. And in terms of even like Alain's like personalities too, we didn't get to see much of it, which sucked. In terms of just like even his voice acting, I felt like was kind of just like not off, but it just didn't feel the same. There was not a lot of passion from when I was seeing him battle. Even like the animation too, overall for the battle was. I mean, Tyrone can probably like explain this better than I can, but I just very much miss the battle choreography that we got previously in like
Stop
X and
using
Y.
me for this. What happens if I'm gone?
Then that's your fault, Tyrone. It was our mistake.
Yeah, if you get hit by a truck tomorrow, it's not my fault. But it's...
Truck. Oh no, he's getting isekai'd. Oh no. But
Like,
going back to it,
Go ahead, Amy.
No, it's okay. But I think, I mean, technically this is Tyrone's fault because he showed us the Mega Evolution special.
oh yeah, so there you go, buddy. You
It is
congratulations,
my
Tyrone.
fault. Yeah, that is. I'll take responsibility for that.
No, but I'm just kidding. But honestly, like, even I rewatched, like, Ash versus Alain, like, I never thought I would ever do that. I, like, watched that fight from X and Y because that fight hurt me. But, like, I rewatched it and I'm like, you know what? Even though I know the outcome, it was such a hype battle to watch. And it was still entertaining. And I think that's what these battles, especially, in my opinion, for Journeys as a whole, I feel like the battles have just been unentertaining. I feel like the spark has been lost. I feel like the strategies.
Joy.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like the spark is gone. I feel like it's too technical now, which may or may not be a bad thing depending on the way you look at it. I just feel like the creativity is gone from these battles. And especially for, like how KG was saying that the Masters 8 is on such a big pedestal because this is the biggest tournament they've ever done in Pokemon as a whole. For them to handle the opening ceremony like this with the first battle to show, all right, so I guess these competitors mean absolutely nothing to Leon. And I mean absolutely nothing because we saw what happened. We saw what happened. Alain stand no chance. No chance at all. We didn't even see Leon's third Pokemon. That's how bad it was. And I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but just in terms of, like I said, like the spark, the energy, the creativity, the hype, I feel like that was very lost in something such as big as this tournament that's supposed to bring hype. it just disappoints me, really, honestly, because I feel like Pokemon can do so much better than this. And I feel like there's so much potential, but I'm so tired of saying that for the series, being like, oh, there was potential. I should be saying that they have the potential and they're doing it. But I'm not. I'm just saying I'm more excited about the what ifs than what actually happened, which just makes me really sad, in all honesty. And it's funny too because in terms of like the battle itself, the most animation we saw was for Charizard versus Charizard. But like everyone has said too, the Charizard versus Charizard fight was so short. It was like 46 seconds. So seeing that good animation, they could have carried that out for longer. They could have dragged that out for longer, but they decided not to. And like we said too, like they didn't even give Alain's Charizard a chance. This Pokemon that has taken down so many Mega Evolutions has gone through its own story and development in X and Y, down just like that. Just because the story says that Leon is strong and needs to be number one. I think if that's the case, if he was already number one, why is he in the tournament? If it's called the Masters 8, he should be at number one. He should be the last person to fight. At least that's what I think. I think it's just unfair to have him in the competition if he's already proven to be number one. I don't know, that's just me at least. And even that opening ceremony in the beginning too, I felt like that was super underwhelming. Like I feel like they just got some lights from Best Buy and they just like put them on real quick and have all the competitors just stand in a circle and be like, all right,
put
guys.
the Best Buy lights up.
they got them on sale and they're like, yeah, this will do. It's fine.
Put up the Best Buy LEDs.
Yeah, exactly. Just different colors for each person. It's like, yeah, this will work. I feel like they could have done like an Olympic style ceremony, just because of how big this tournament is. If this tournament is the biggest thing that Pokemon has ever done, show it. Show it in what you are presenting to the audience. Give us that hype. This episode could have just been a build-up, and like KG said, we take the 2-week break, we come back to the beginning of the Masters 8. But no, we decide to cram everything into one episode, bring Hop, which honestly, what was the point of bringing Hop this late into the series? At this point, they should have just left him out. I know the Hop versus Ash battle was funny. I did laugh at it just because of how short it was and just how stupid it was. But at the same time, if we're being serious, it was not needed. And Hop was not needed for this entire series to begin with, if he was shown this late. I think the last thing I have to say as well is just putting Ash in the sidelines with Go and Hop. Why? There's a whole room full of champions. Champions. And you have Ash there too, who's a champion. Why can we not just see Ash talk with these people, interact with them? Because you know why? There was no development or build up for this for the entirety of the series. Nothing. So this is the opportunity. Okay, if we're just going to ignore development interactions, we can do this now because, hey, why? Oh, there's a room that all the competitors are in, but no, they put Ash on the sidelines. What sense does it make? It doesn't make any sense. He can watch the battle from that room with other competitors and they can just commentate on what's going on. And maybe Ash can learn something from them and vice versa. And they can even see how Ash has grown as a trainer and as a person. But no. Off-screen land? Maybe. I don't know at this point. Like I said, a lot of the things is the what could have been instead of the what actually happened. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say, because I think I'm repeating a lot of what KG said, to be fair, to be honest. But if I had to give a rating for this episode, God damn it, I would give it a 3 out of 10. Yeah, I'm sad. I called it, but I'm still sad. But yeah, that is my review of this episode. Emmy's sad. Sad Emmy is sad.
Sad out of 10.
I'm gonna go bake a cake.
You got 2 weeks, buddy. Let's see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, go have fun with that. But yeah, thanks for your review there, buddy. So let me now go pass it on to the next buddy here. I will pass it over to Nessa. Nessa, take it away.
Alrighty though. So, for this episode though, I a lot of the stuff because I found out first thing in the morning, like I guess there was a lot of talk, like the episode was not good, which already discouraged me to watch it. And then also, I remember that day I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna join the watch party," and then my mom decided to pull me out, and we're like, "Oh, let's go grocery shopping," which I was kind of glad I was pulled out of it. So then I didn't get to watch this till like late Friday night. So while I was like, "Okay, there's no people around, there's no just me, just me. I'm just gonna watch this. I don't have to worry about everyone else's opinion." So I'll give it like positive. So going into the episode, I thought the first half to me was fine. Like I didn't have much complaints from there. Um already you guys already brought up some really great highlights. Like for me, the best highlight for me was with Iris like taking selfies with the champions. Cause seriously, I think she was like the only one who like kind of like was more involved interacting with the champions compared to Ash. So she was adorable, and then also I was like, Iris, you're like me, because I would have done the same. If I see some champions or famous people, I'd be like, can I get a photo, please? So that to me was like a little highlight. And then another highlight, I actually didn't mind the opening ceremony though. It was like I actually kind of thought it was pretty cool though. So and then just like introducing like everybody. I think KG already brought up about finally they addressing Ash being a lowland champion, which took forever. And then also Hop and then also Ash interacting with the what I guess this besides Go and Hop, I actually thought it was fine. Like I wasn't too bothered him not interacting the champions. I feel like probably later on he might as we get closer and closer to like the finals, I feel like he might interact though. So but I don't know where it's gonna go though. And what else do you ever else? But and then let's see here. No, there's just so many. And okay, parts of Alain versus Leon fight. The only positive I have out of that fight, I did like the Ribble Bloom versus the Chestnut fight. I didn't. I actually like that one because at least that one he kind of showcased like Chestnut's strength, and then he did pretty good for being for, like the Gigantamax Ribble Bloom. So I think that's probably the only out positive I have. Okay, but okay, so that's all that positives for me, but I have more negatives. So I was trying to be I'm trying to be balanced, but my negatives was I was so disappointed that Alon and Ashbury interacted. It was just a nod. I'm like, what? So like I actually thought from everything we will get like more of a build up because I felt like just like when you guys already alliterated, it was like more it was so rushed. Like I felt like because it's like we didn't get enough time like for everyone seeing each other, like introductions, nothing like that. I think the positive was just Ash and Irish interacting, but other than else, everything else was just like, okay, what just happened? So then I was so bummed that it was just a nod from Ash and Lalan, and then of course in off-screen land, they actually were like having Knuckles in that PR, Annie-Poke PR they released on Sunday. I'm just like, why couldn't that be the episode? Why? Why would we have to find out off-screen land in a little really comic strip? and then the battle itself with between Leon, I was so disappointed. I knew okay, we were already knew he was gonna lose. We knew that. I was like, how bad could it be? Like how bad? Like I did not expect this amount of disrespect for Alon. We get it. We know Leon's the most powerful trainer. We get it. It's like okay, but it was for me. It was like to me. It was like an insult that Leon's Charizard that's not even a Gigantamax or nothing, just a regular Charizard taking down Leon's Alon's Charizard. I was just like, wow. And also, I noticed from Alon's side of things, his Charizard has a different set of moves. Like, I don't ever remember having him Flare Blitz. I was like, what happened to Blast Burn? Like, and that was like one of the things. And
Don't
then
talk about it, Nessa.
I know that was like that was like I was like why that change? And the other changes too. I guess Leon's Charizard also changes moves because I was like I don't remember ever having Dragon Pulse or or Air Slash. Like I was kind of like okay, I guess Leon's
It
Charizard
did
has
have
some
air
moves.
slash. It did have air slash
Oh, it
against
has Air
Disney.
Slash. Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't
it had air
remember.
slash. Because that's what Max Airstream was.
Actually, oh okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. And then but then Dragon Pulse he did not have. That I don't remember.
No, he did not have Dragon Pulse.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was like, oh, really? Like,
yeah, they changed Leon's Charizard's moveset like almost 3 times since he's debuted.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
was like, it seems like every time they show him this Charizard, like there's always a new attack. So this one, I was
Yeah.
like, wait. So when this was like a thing, so and then just everything else from that battle, I was like, it seems like Alain's Charizard just didn't put up much of a fight. It was just like after like that Dragon Pulse, like he didn't even struggle or anything. It was just like it was so fast, like a blink of an eye. You could have probably just like gone, oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get something, and then you come back. I'm like, wait, that's it. I kind of felt like they should have just done like a cliffhanger. If I guess if anything, like we shouldn't have had to find out till like the next episode or something of like how it ended. Because it's just like everything from there is just like I was like, we get it, yeah, we know his Charizard is it's his strongest Pokemon, and I guess obviously for this episode he was just flexing it off.
So the moves that Charizard had, by the way, during all of Journeys, even though I don't think Leon has been in like a crap ton of episodes, he's
Yeah.
doing Flamethrower, Air Slash, Fire Spin, Thunder Punch, Dragon Claw, Dig, Brick Break, Rock Tomb, Flare Blitz, Fire Blast, Ancient Power, and Dragon Balls.
Oh my god.
I don't know
Damn.
why the fuck. I guess Leon just changes Charizard's moves every week.
Sounds like it. I was like, damn, that was like the most moves I ever seen.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, just like the battle itself though, I felt like they could have like extended it to the next episode. Like it didn't have to end here, and we could have had more time for like just like everyone introducing themselves or something, just getting hypes. And then KG already brought this up too with how Ash's reaction after, but he just like, oh, it's fine, like, and I'm surprised like he wasn't shook by that or anything. Like I kind of felt like, or I kind of wish we could see the other champions were their reactions like seeing that like that display. I think so I kind of I kind of wish we had more of that because then I think we have a better picture. Like okay, we get it. The atmosphere, Leon's is very powerful champ. I kind of felt we felt more of that versus we had to just like
We
okay.
kind of did get, but that was like before the battle began. I think it was like Cynthia or Diantha was saying, "I hope Leon doesn't or Alain doesn't feel pressured by what he's going to
Yeah.
get into." But that was really like the only moments we ever saw.
Okay, yeah. But other than that, it was like I kind of wish we had more. My biggest complaint, but I can't really rag on much since you guys already point out a lot of this stuff. But I was just really disappointed. Like I was like, if anything, this is probably the one thing we should not done. But I just wish it could have dragged on to another episode. Like, and I kind of feel like too. I've noticed the pattern. I'm not sure if they're doing. I kind of remember there was in the Alola League there was like a controversial battle too with that Routlet and Decidueye with Hal and Ash with the whole sleeping thing. So I was kind of like wondering, like I'm like, okay, I wonder if they're taking that route. Like, okay, this so obviously the writers knew there'll be the controversial part, and then they knew, all right, we're gonna do a 2-week break because they knew. I guess they kind of knew a lot of people would be upset. And then I'm not sure how the rest of the mastery is gonna go, but it was just something I was just wondering. And then also a little mixed in from X and Y from that. I think Ash versus that Fur trainer before he started his match and he got late, but they didn't really. And then at least with Ashen versus Hop, it was like went KO. But that is it for me. I don't have much to say after that.
As a score, what would you give it?
4 out of 10.
Okay. So thank you for your review on that one, buddy. Much appreciated.
You're welcome.
All right then. TSS, I believe it is your turn next, so would you like to take it away?
Yeah, sure. So let's start with stuff that hasn't been mentioned yet, technically. So let's begin. Like I said, this is all in my opinion and all in my head. So let's begin with the issue that the series has had since the beginning of this, and that is mixing anime lore and game lore. So now, of course, this is not the first time that they fucked up with the game lore in a series. Alola, Alola has had that problem with Sun and Moon, where they introduced Hal way too late, and once again they botched it with Hop's appearance. If anything, Hop should have been introduced when Satoshi and Leon were in the middle of Galar trying to find out what the fuck they were going to do.
QTSS, god damn it!
And like I said, this is coming from a person who has no affiliation or no attachment to any of the characters.
He's
So
on our side.
No, that's the last time.
Come on.
That's
You
the
got
last
Boo
thing.
Boo.
I can't have one.
Well, I mean, you got that one.
You have that one, and that's
Whatever. Thank you,
so
TSS.
you're welcome. So okay. So that they botched. So now let's get into another thing. Now, the whole thing with the way that they structured the Masters 8 here, I would think that in terms of they prioritized video game lore over anime lore, even though technically Steven is the kind of the hybrid between the games and the anime, since he's a very significant character and a very powerful character that proved himself throughout the entire series. They put priority on him. So this episode, as we mentioned, is supposed to show Leon on a very strong pedestal. And yes, it actually did that. So let me get started with the beginning. Let me get started with the first half. I thought the first half with the opening ceremony was done exquisitely. And especially as folks said here with Satoshi and Iris interacting. Now, Satoshi's decision not to be with the Masters 8 is kind of a strange choice, but I understand why they want to do that. I mean, we're looking at, the whole thing with Hop and Go. They want to be together, and they're going to probably just be observing all the matches. So getting back to the fight. Getting back to the scale of between the logic between the game and the anime, they definitely put anime on the lower end, because considering that in the Masters 8 we have 2 anime exclusive characters, and the rest are video game characters that are based off of designs from the games. So they put priority on those 2. So the Leon versus Alain fight is what the young people would call, in my opinion, what the young people would call mid. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. However, though, it is not in the same echelon as, let's say, it is a step above the Marnie stuff, because the Marnie stuff was a glorified squash match, and the Gigantamax and Dynamax there look like absolute garbage. Here, the Rillaboom Gigantamax actually looked decent. The moves look good. Not too flashy, but at least it didn't move at a very like stone pace. At least the fluidity of the animation was good enough for the Gigantamax. But Alain did do. I mean, it was cool actually, because you see Leon mention during, I believe it was, what was it, Max Overgrowth, that it broke through the shield for Chestnut, and I thought it was pretty cool that he mentioned, oh, even though you have a shield move, I broke through it with my Gigantamax move, or Dynamax move, which actually how it works in the video games. So I really appreciate that he actually went and did that. The Malamar, then Alain brings his Charizard in and one-shots the Rillaboom, which makes sense, because hey, that's fine. It's like a super effective move. Okay, cool. The Malamar one was pretty weird, because technically his Charizard did not do a move that was super effective against it. I think it was just, again, power scaling or critting or whatever the fuck it is, and it just got out. That was the one thing that stuck out like a sore thumb for me. I can see the mutual respect for the between Alain and Leon in that little altercation before they got the Charizards together. And I think the problem is, I think Alain actually owed himself by going into the Mega Evolution, because it's kind of a double-edged fuckery, because number one, this shows that that Leon doesn't give a fuck about gimmicks. Gimmicks won't fucking necessarily work. And number two is that the Charizard X just gained a fucking Dragon weakness because it turned a Dragon type. So fucking one-shot Dragon Pulse. That was it. Because he fucked himself. So that's the thing. It shows like he had him, like Leon was ready for it. Like he had the mindset that he was ready for that shit. So in that case, it was a smart move by Leon. Yes, we had to put freaking Alain under the bus. But in terms of like strategy, that was actually okay. Like I didn't have the only fight, the only 1-on-1v1 fight on that really didn't make any sense was the Charizard versus Malamar. And by the way, folks, factoid for you. This is the first Charizard versus Charizard fight that does not involve Shinichiro Miki as Charizard. They're both completely different voice actors. And they're actually credited in the credits. The last time a Charizard versus Charizard match occurred was XYZ 32, where you had X versus Y, where no credit was given, which meant that probably Shinichiro Miki did both of them, because he was already in the episode too. So, in effect, we have two Charizards being voiced by two completely different seiyus, or voice actors. Even though Shinichiro Miki was present in the episode, he did not voice them. Okay, so therefore, let me get to my score, and then I'm going to also add additional things that were on the original broadcast. All right, so I have 3 scores here. I have the paper score, I have the first half, and I have the second half. The paper score gets an 8.3. The first half gets an 8.8. The second half, the battle gets a 6.7. It wasn't as bad as people think that people will like criticize and nitpick for it, because it actually did have some decent strategy in it, but it still was mid-tier. It wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. All right, so now let's go on to the bonus stuff. All right, so on the original broadcast, right after we see the ending of the episode, the credits roll, and then Japan will have a special poll for the top 3 movies out of the 25 years, out of the currently 23 movies. They will be able to select their top 3 movies, and they'll be played in theaters.
That is actually pretty cool.
For the 25th movie anniversary, they're going to be playing a rotation of 3 movies in movie theaters. The best 3 movies that the Japanese will pick. And I will probably bet you that 2 of them will probably be Lucario and then Power of Us. The other one could flip between 5 and maybe Zora, but we will see what happens. But I can't wait to see what the Japanese public chooses. That there's going to be no movie. It's just going to be it. They're going to have the deadline the deadline between, I think, August the 11th and September 8th. Now, I'm not sure if that, I got to look more into this, but it's cool that they're going to have a poll for the top 3 movies that they're going to have a theatrical re-release again.
What they should totally do is have it premiere the trailer for the next movie on the re-release of this. I think that would be
that would be pretty cool.
That would be really cool, and it would be even doper if they could do it. I highly doubt, because it is impossible to create animation in such a small time frame. But if somehow, depending on the popularity of what is considered the best film for the viewer's eyes, that somehow that next film doesn't tie to it, but maybe ties to certain Pokemon based on what was the number one choice. But
that would be
we
pretty
don't.
cool.
Yeah, but
We don't know that. But
Yeah.
I'll just say this. I will just say this much. Just to have them come out with this specifically as we go into hiatus, I think that's pretty cool. I think for the fact that this is kind of a sorry, we don't have a movie for you, so let's choose your best 3 and then we'll just rotate it in theaters. And then also props to the Rockets probably violating streaming TOS for broadcasting the fucking episode, for the broadcasting the battle.
Yeah, people spend money for this.
Yeah, it's like, and then it's at least that moment, those moments made me chuckle as well. But it's like, it's holding up the freaking selfie stick and shit, and also we gotta get some people, probably a couple of our folks, to decipher what characters were on the placard, the cue cards that Sonansu was holding.
I have a question because I think you might know this better.
Go ahead.
Was this by any chance tied to the podcast that they were doing?
What the
what was there?
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah,
I swear it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because if that is, I'm actually very thankful, because what did I say the last time I wanted them to come back for? For more of that.
This is because they're keying off of the popularity that they gained because of that podcast.
Yeah. That's the continuity I love.
At least Team Rocket is the only ones with a good continuity.
Right.
Shh, don't say that. They'll hear you.
Yeah.
And then they'll make it all mess it up. So
No,
but that's what I wanted to know.
But before I close, I think what's going to happen is I think that little placard at the on the Twitter, it's probably going to state that Alain's going to stay, because personally I wouldn't freaking go the fuck home after losing something. I would, seeing how they interacted, and also, by the way, as an aside, this is the most dead inside I've ever seen Alain. It sounded like it was a shell of a man. It wasn't really. It didn't feel right to me.
Yeah,
and
I'm glad I'm not going crazy.
This is the person. This is coming from a person who did not give a fuck about any of those characters.
Yeah.
And I can tell that he was not in the right place. He was not in it, really in it.
He wasn't in it to win it.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, TSS.
Go ahead.
Have they announced the voice actors for the next episode, or no, because it's a long gap?
It's way too early, because, like I said, it's a 2-week gap. They don't usually publish that stuff until it's closer.
Oh, okay.
And even then, it's technically 3 weeks, because 2 weeks no episodes, and then the next week is when the episode airs.
Wait, Andy has a question too for TSS.
Everybody has a question.
Y'all stalling hard. Y'all stalling so hard. I have never seen this much stalling.
Because we know what we're gonna get into, buddy.
Yeah, Tyrone, I heard your rant. I know what you're gonna say. Just kidding. But no, my question is, do you know the reason for the 2-week break? Is there an exact reason, or is it just we're just taking a break because we have to?
Because they fucking suck.
Oh, there's always a reason.
No, I think it's because, again, their production schedule. Usually they would take a 2-week. They would usually take a hiatus anyway, because normally they would promote the movie and they would also run last year's movie. So in lieu of that, I think they're taking the 2-week gap to run the poll. And then whatever the poll results happen, I don't know if it's gonna now I gotta read. I think according to this, I think they're going to be running the 3 movies between August 11th and September 8th. And I think that's probably what they're going to be doing. They're going to be rotating. It says San Sakuhin Kikan Gente Joe, which means that's the limited time. That's the deadline. It's like a limited time, like a deadline for these 3 films.
Yeah.
Now again, I have to look into this,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that time is going to be with the poll, or is it going to be the time? I would imagine it's probably going to be within the poll, because then they got to get ready to show it for the 25th, because technically the 25th anniversary of the movies occurs next year.
Yeah.
So if you search for, because it says Anitere Pokemon Kensaku, which means search Anitere Pokemon on probably TV Tokyo's site.
Well,
and then that will be explained.
Well, like, the reason why I asked that to begin with is just because of, like, the pacing-wise, like, not pacing, like, the structure-wise, like, we have, like, did they plan it like this, where they're gonna have the first episode of the PWC and then, like, 2-week break, and then we're going back to it? That's just weird to me.
I would think so. I think that's how the production. I think that's how the production schedule
They
is.
should have had the 2-week break after Go's thing, and then start the PWC.
After you mean the Paul thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Paul thing. Yeah, they should have had the 2-week thing after Paul thing, then do the PWC.
Yeah. So I thought there was like maybe a holiday or like something like that. But if it's the movies, then
that was the normal. Yeah, but that's the normal time that they take off.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, like I said, because we lost 6 weeks due to the pandemic, it probably messed up all the schedules and all the shit.
And also these 2 episodes now that we lost because of the break. I think this series is going to be the shortest any series, isn't it?
Yep.
I think we're going to probably, people are saying chances are probably closing in at about 130 to 132 episodes, if no more breaks after this.
Yeah,
that's okay.
But considering that if we didn't have those, if we didn't have those production delays, we probably would have still round up around 140.
Yeah, but that would have been at least on par with the other ones. So
yeah.
Thank you for answering Emmy's question. Appreciation.
TSS appreciation post. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So now I'm gonna go take out the garbage. And Tyrone, floor is yours. 8.8, 8.3 for the mains for the paper score. 8.8 for the first half. 6.7 for the second.
Thank you, TSS. All right, then.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Before we begin our review for Tyrone's portion, I have a question to Tyrone.
Oh.
You there, buddy?
I said
Oh, for some reason your icon didn't move, so I didn't think you were there. Okay, here's my question. You're good, buddy?
Define good.
Oh, no.
Good as in... Was your character that you love so much that you built up upon by these reactions that you've been doing lately, did they exceed your expectations once he returned in this episode good?
You know, that's a very interesting question, KG. And I'm going to follow it with a question.
Yes.
And this is for everybody. The chat, Twitter, YouTube, fucking Facebook if it wanted to be,
oh my God.
Instagram. A question for everybody who at least watches Pokemon Journeys. Why does this show bring characters back? Can y'all answer that for me real fast?
Oh, well, that's easy. Oh, okay. I mean, you begin. You said first.
I know.
The money.
The money. All right.
That's pretty good.
All right, perfect. I'm fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that one.
For people who are fans of these characters, what do y'all typically hope to see from these characters when they're announced to come back or they come back? Just answer that for me.
A progression on their story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. The progression of their story, right? Progression.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it didn't do any of that. In fact, it made Alain's character dangerously worse than when he debuted.
Ouch.
Extremely worse.
Yeah, they disrespected him, so yeah.
Because I hear so many people. You know what? Let's start with the light stuff first. I'm gonna start back because the battle's gonna be the biggest thing. But let's start off with the thing that people were saying they like. The interactions with Iris, Diantha, and Cynthia. The selfie's nice. It is a moment.
It is the moment.
It is the moment. That's the problem I have with it. These characters all know each other, for the most part. At least Ash knows most of them. Ash knows all of them. Scratch that. He knows all of them. Every last person in that room. So what they did was they had Ash go in the seats and bleachers. And then they made the excuse, well, he wants to be closer to the battles. No, what you did was you made it so that he could go back to the seat so he wouldn't have to reference any of the older characters. You did that so that Ash wouldn't have to interact with Lance because he's a G-Man and they did adventures with him twice. You did it so he wouldn't have to talk to Diantha because Ash battled Diantha twice. Neither fight got finished because both times Gardevoir got kidnapped. Yeah, that happened. He's met Cynthia multiple times. Not even counting journeys. Met her in Unova, met her in Sinnoh. Didn't even bring up the fact that he met Paul yesterday. Well, in that current universe, it would have been yesterday. Didn't talk to who else was there? Steven didn't talk to Steven at all. Which Pokemon loves doing that with Steven and Ash for some fucking reason. I don't know.
Because it's AG.
The battle. Nothing. The battle is weirdly. This battle will be the most conversation these two have.
Actually, the one conversation that caught me off guard, I think, was him saying, "I finally get a chance to battle you" or something.
Yeah, but he doesn't say that to Ash. He just says that, and you could honestly take that out of context and flop it in with anybody. But they did that move so that Ash wouldn't, because they didn't want to write dialogue. Because it's a lot easier to, instead of Ash going, Cynthia going, "Hey Ash, I see you've been working hard." And Ash going, "Yeah, I even met Paul yesterday. How's he doing? He's actually becoming a gym leader." Or Diantha going, "It's been a while. Last time you fought me, you had Greninja." And then they do a flashback to that. And Iris goes, "Whoa, you fought Lady Diantha?" "Yeah, I did. It was when I was adventuring in Kalos." And then Lance goes, "Ash, I see you're looking stronger too." He's like, "Hey Lance, you know Lance Dragon Master?" Instead of writing all that, it's a lot easier to write, "The front seats to the stadium are the best." That takes less work. It takes less work to write that.
It just hurts me because, like, I wanted to see Iris' reaction to all of that. And even Alain to an extent. Because Iris is shit to the
Dragon Master!
But also, no, because...
she fangasmed over Claire! This is her fucking cousin! The stronger one! Go ahead,
it just makes me question if we're gonna get any of that in the following episode. I don't know.
No, it's too fucking late for that now. They fucked it up when they introduced them all.
I don't have faith. My faith is gone.
But we gotta see Pikachu fucking hit Wooloo with fucking Iron Tail, because that's definitely worth our fucking time.
And kind of goes back. It's like you just wanted the whole thing, the whole interaction is just be the one episode instead of the.
Yeah,
and it also makes Leon look like a shitty ass brother because they haven't been in the same spot. They're not even in the same fucking scene. It was better if you didn't even write them in the fucking show. It was better then because then we can at least Ash is filling in that spot. We don't even get that. So now it just looks like Leon's been a shitty, incompetent older brother all this time.
He is a shitty, incompetent brother. You didn't know that?
Yes, though.
Yeah, I've been watching over this 10-year-old. He's a really skilled trainer. Oh, you mean your brother? No, I meant Ash, some random kid that I met.
Yeah.
Who I gave a Dynamax ring to, but not my younger brother. Yeah. So that we getting out the way right now. For those of y'all who love the interaction, I'm sorry. Even when I look back at that, that's shitty. None of the characters talk to each other. The characters are placed in a spot because they're all the strongest, and they're pitted up against each other like action figures that are forced to smash against each other's face until one of them's the winner. Alain barely gets any lines except a smirk towards Ash and a fist bump in the air.
Yep.
And he wasn't even smiling back at Ash. He was just...
I know.
Yes.
Somebody did, and this is... Okay, I want to bring this back again because I mentioned this before. You gotta remember, like a week ago, what did we fangasm about the most? It was about one simple thing. A smile from a character's return. And that was Paul. That smile alone spoke volumes about the progression of his character from when we first met him in the DP series to where he is currently at, and showed that even one little thing can make such a significant difference towards a character's development in a series.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that, KG. Thank you. You've activated my trap card.
Shit. This is you,
Let's refer to the fight between Ash and Alain. The one people don't like, but not because it's a bad battle. No, it's a great fucking battle. Whether you like the results or hate the results, the battle's fucking.
Oh yeah, everyone can agree. The battle's dope.
It's fucking gorgeous.
We just don't like the outcome.
Guess what happens when Alain uses Dragon Claw on Greninja in the fight, and Greninja backs up, and Alain is about to do his next final move? He smiles, and then it cuts to Marin, and Marin goes, "Alain's smiling." Why is that important? It's important because in the Mega Evolution specials, his pursuit to become the strongest starts making him blindsided to things that are important. Even his own Charizard calls him out on it. When he argues with Marin and tells her to fuck off, you're ruining my chances to get stronger, Charizard looks at him with doubt. As if you're going too far here, man. And he's like, listen, I don't need her right now. When Alain starts smiling again, Marin starts smiling because in the battle, it's clear he's having fun. So if you want to talk about narrative in a battle, there you go. That's good narrative. That's using the narrative correctly. That's using interaction correctly. What they were supposed to show here was Alain enjoying the battle. But he doesn't even look like he's doing that. What he looks like he's doing are the stock animations that they had him do in fucking Mega Evolution specials and X and YZ episodes, because those are easier to fucking animate and draw, even though they can't fucking draw well. And then we cut to the battle itself, and a lot of people go, well, he did good against the Rillaboom, Okay, but it's very obvious that's one part of the fight. And even in that part of the fight, all Chestnut really does is last long enough against some of its attacks, which I'll admit is good. The problem here is that he immediately gets knocked out by acrobatics, only for Rillaboom to get knocked out immediately by Flare Blitz. So by the time all that's over, it almost feels like Rillaboom's debut was just nothing more than to show off that Leon has another G-Max that he can use sometimes. It doesn't have any meaning behind it. It doesn't have any inner setting or narrative or story. It's literally just one grass type starter versus another grass type starter, and one of them's really big and really strong.
You know what's sad about that? Oh, what? Sorry. Go ahead.
No, really for that Rillaboom fight though, it was like didn't it use was it Max Stream though? So his speed
Max Airstream to increase his speed, so that when he used acrobatics the next time, he could outspeed Chestnut and beat it.
Yeah, that was like, I remember that. Like, oh, that's the only technical stupid thing, but yeah.
But even then, and I'm sorry, looks good? No, this looks horrible. It looked horribly animated. That was ass. And then when he finally does beat him, well, when Chestnut gets the hit, what he does is that he goes to the side and then he hit, but they don't want to animate it. So what happens is that they just cut the Rillaboom being at the top of the sky, and not Rillaboom, Chestnut being at the top of the sky and Rillaboom getting hit. And the announcer says that it hit. It's that lazy thing Pokemon does when they have to show that damage happened.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Emmy.
No, I was gonna. Sorry, just to say at this point before I forget. But the sad part about the Chestnut battle was that even Alain's hits during that match just didn't feel impactful at all. But then as soon as Rillaboom hit, it went flying to the ground so fast, so hard. So even watching that battle, you feel like Alain still did nothing. Chestnut turned into a Blade and did something, but it didn't feel impactful. I think that was the issue too.
It was soulless as hell. It was the most soulless. See, there's something that artists and animators do when they want to make a hit look like it hurts. And I'll use Dragon Ball for a reference because that's the one that most people can understand because of fighting. Dragon Ball Z used to do this thing where if a hit happened, the TV screen, well, not the literal TV screen, but the screen that you're watching would shake a little bit. They would move the screen like a couple of inches to the shimmy it a little bit, and they would make the screen go black for 0.1 second and return it back to normal. This is an animation trick that they do to make the hits, crunch, feel like they hurt. Bam! Like you can see it in an instant. What Journeys did, unfortunately, is they made the hit happen, but it's all animated. It's all barely animated. So you just see Rillaboom get hit, like the face that it got hit with Chestnut in the air after the hit. It's almost like looking at a manga shot. Like after the hit has happened in a manga shot. And then obviously Malamar, I have so little, but still the little I have to say about it makes me that angry. I'm not even sure why Malamar was in this fight. And what makes it worse is that Alain says this one will turn the tides of the battle. I'm like, what? It will? He uses Psycho Cutter twice. And it doesn't even connect. Then moves in for a throat chop after Alain just got done saying, I can't rush in when fighting Charizard. Then why'd you rush in when fighting Charizard? You did the very thing that you said you shouldn't do. And then we get to the Charizard fight itself, which you guys have already heard me during the reactions of how bad that is. So we're going to cut to the meat and potatoes of why exactly that's bad. A lot of people, and I saw this on here too, where people are saying the Dragon Pulse is going to do more because Charizard's a dragon type. Well, are we following the video game logic or the anime logic? Because either way, you're fucked. I followed the video game logic. And under the video game logic, a Charizard that's using Dragon Pulse that's non-stabbed on Mega Charizard X cannot take out Mega Charizard X with one hit from a Dragon Pulse. It takes 2 hits from a Dragon Pulse to kill Charizard. So if we're using game logic, there you go. Debunked. Are we using anime logic? Because if we're using anime logic, then he definitely can't get hit. You want to know why? Because Charizard has faced worse in the anime before. Where would you ask, Tyrone? Where has he faced worse? Allow me to address the Seabolt fight. In the Seabolt fight, Blastoise uses Mega Launcher. For those of y'all who don't know, Mega Launcher is an ability that makes it so all pulse moves do more damage than they would originally do. Blastoise hits Charizard X with Dragon Pulse twice! Twice! And that was when Charizard was still a Mega Charizard X. That means it's super effective. It even tanked Steven's Metagross. It got hit with Primal Groudon's Precipice Blades. It was able to survive several Water Shurikens, including a rain-powered one and a cut from Ash's Greninja. You want to know what really happened? Because I'll tell you the harsh reality of what happened. The harsh reality of what happened is what I keep talking about when it comes to Journeys and its time schedule. We're seeing the man behind the curtain. When it comes to a fight and a spectacle, you should never see exactly what's happening you should never see what's happening in between the x-rays of the writing. You should never, like, if a writer makes a mistake, it should still be something that the audience is able to digest. It should never be obvious, oh, the writer fucked up. What happened here is the writers realized that, God damn it, KG. What happened here is the writers realized, oh shit, Scarlet and Violet is coming soon. We don't have many episodes in order to do this Pokemon World Tournament stuff. And we don't have enough episodes to show off the rest of Journeys. So we need to hurry this up. So this fight can't afford to be 2 episodes long. It has to be 1. And we can't get we can't get a lot of animation into this. We can only use our A animation team for a little bit. So, because of time constraints, Alain had to lose very quickly. Oh, he used Flare Blitz, which means he rushed in. There's no reason Alain would have Flare Blitz. If anything, Alain's a very smart battler. He would have kept Charizard using Thunder Punch, because that does more damage to Charizard because it's a flying type Pokemon. But he got rid of it. And what this essentially means is, because Alain, and then they make it worse by Alain saying that he wants to defeat Leon's Charizard. Which means that Alain would more than likely study Leon's Charizard to know strategies of how to beat it. But he doesn't. He winds up using Dragon Claw and Flare Blitz, doesn't even consider fighting from a distance with Flamethrower. He does all these unnecessary poor tactical errors over and over and over. And it's not Alain's fault. You want to know what it is? It's the writer's fault. The writers sat there and went, wait, we don't have much time. We got to end this fight fast. The only way we can think to end it is to show how strong Leon is. So they went ahead and made him lose super quickly. Took out Blast Burn, they took out Thunder Punch. They have to make Alain look like an idiot in order to make Leon look better. Because fans demanded that Alain come to this tournament because he's noticeably strong. He beat Ash. And thus, if Ash beats Leon, then by proxy, they're going over the power linear scale list of one trainer able to beat another. Even though in certain situations that's not the case, like when Ash beat Brandon but can't beat Paul, but Paul can't beat Brandon, whatever. But that's the problem you have when you have a linear power scaling system in any anime. It's why I made the tweet much earlier during the week where I said the worst thing you can do is state that a character is the strongest, or unbeatable, or unstoppable, or undefeatable. You narrow the scope of your fictional world and you're fetishizing one aspect of it so that when Ash wins, it becomes a big deal. And that's terrible. What it does is that it also undermines the other characters. No matter how many ways you want to slice it, Leon has only been introduced into this series. We don't have the same history with Leon that we do all the other characters that are in the tournament right now. Because they have had histories upon histories and years of notoriety, whether it be the video games or the anime. So obviously when you put Leon up against these characters, they have to be made complete fucking fools for nothing more than the fact that Ash needs to defeat Leon right now because his fucking video game is the last one that came out. That's what happened. That's the reality. And the problem is that fans are trying to legitimately hide it as such, when we know the writing on the wall. The writing on the wall is Leon is given a status, and then whenever something weird happens in a fight, people have to make the statement, oh, well, Leon's the strongest. He's the strongest. Never mind the fact that Charizard was able to fight off against Primal, Kyogre, and Groudon, Mega Rayquaza on 2 occasions, fight off against Steven's Mega Metagross, Seabolt's Blastoise, where it still lost, but it put up way more of a fight, and it also fought off against Ash Greninja multiple times, which was shown to hurt Cynthia's fucking Gardevoir on more than one occasion. But all these feats have to be pushed down and nudged down a notch and made into a completely embarrassing one-shot fight for nothing more than the fact that Leon is so strong. And this isn't even an excuse the story gives, it's an excuse the fans have been giving, reassuring them that what they saw is perfectly justifiable for nothing more than the fact that Leon's number one. But the problem you do when you do that is that you narrow the scope of your fictional world. This means that everything has to fall into place. I remember one time I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they did something like this where Merrick is in a tournament. And Merrick's the antagonist of that current arc at the time, and Yugi's the main protagonist. So the two have to fight each other. They have to duel each other. Problem is, Joey winds up dueling Merrick before. What they do is that they have Joey technically win the fight, but still lose. If he had told Gearfried the Iron Knight to attack, or Gearfried the Lightning to attack forward, then Merrick would have lost all his life points and lost the duel. But he can't because he's so bogged down by the Shadow Games that he doesn't have the stamina to keep fighting. So Joey faints, and because he faints, he basically DQs himself. That's a way to make it so a character loses, but still earn respect. Because Yugi still has to fight him. So they still find a way to connect the plots. You still get the pathos, you still get the protagonist fighting the antagonist, but you get the dude-tagonist or support character coming up and showing that they actually have some metal behind them. Here, they had to make Alain as pathetic as possible, and they brought him to the tournament as nothing more than just, oh, he's such a strong opponent that fought Ash that one time. But they didn't want to carry over Leon's legacy from the stuff he's done prior. And then when I bring up these topics of, oh, Leon's fought multiple legendary Pokemon at their Mega and Primal forms, plus 50% Zygarde, and fought off against Lysander's Mega Gyarados, and fought off against multiple champion-level trainers, When I bring that up, people go, well, Leon's the strongest. And it's that fucking title right there that ruins the entire narrative scope of the story. That right there. All it does is make it come into this weird narrative excuse as to why he can get away with half the shit that he can. There's no need for a history. There's no need in order for him to show off his character. There's no need for him to fucking prove himself. Why? Because he's the strongest. Because he's dubbed that way. And that is the worst narrative mistake you can ever make in a story, in a series, period, point blank. Oh, yeah, Leon. Sorry, Alain. Sorry. But that's my major point. Is like Leon is carried off as this character that's so strong because everybody else in the series has to say he's the best. Oh, Leon's number one. Leon's number one. We already get a clue of how strong he is with Raihan simply saying, I'm always losing to him. So we know that apparently these two have history and that he always loses to him and he's made it his top goal. Unfortunately, because the series needs to bring characters to get fucking embarrassed by Leon, Raihan has to suffer. I've heard a lot of people bring up Raihan's arc and how it's the battles are supposed to show the narrative of the character. Raihan's got the worst narrative of this whole show. He doesn't even fucking win a single fight during Journeys. He loses every fucking time. And why does that happen? Because the series didn't know how to pace this show well enough to show off how strong Raihan is. So what the show comes off as is just some dude coming in saying he really doesn't want to lose to Leon, only so that he can lose to Leon and then lose to Ash right after. Great, you didn't do a good job of showing how much you want to win or become the strongest. I told everybody to come watch the Alain specials with me, the Mega Evolution specials with me, specifically so that we could break down the character and also break down exactly how battles are supposed to be done and how well they're accepted. And one of those themings that you see in each of Alain's battles is the fact that, and Astrid points it out at the beginning, is that Alain's so hell-bent on being the strongest. But this example proves why the narrative is so bad. Alain paces to try to be the strongest so frequently, what winds up happening is that he starts to lose sight. And then he starts losing sight of his character. He abandons Professor Sycamore. He acts like a complete asshole to Marin. He's become so fixated on strength that he's losing sight of who he is. So what winds up happening after that is that he distances himself. But what brings him back is fighting off against Ash. So when he fights off against Ash, he realizes that, oh yeah, that's right. Pokemon battles are supposed to be fun. And that's his character growth. That's what we get. It's the story trying to get away from that narrative that you have to be the strongest. You don't have to be the strongest. But what they wind up doing, a bunch of millions upon millions of trainers that exist in this fictional universe, all varying in different strengths based on Pokemon, based on which moves they use, based on which type combinations they have, based on which strategies they have, based on the uniqueness of their battle styles. And instead they go, who is the 8 strongest trainers in the world? And then they blow their wad at 8 fucking jerks. Because what they did was that they fetishized the idea of someone being the strongest. And he says, moral of the story, Alain should have kept being bad. No, the moral of the story is that Alain was good. He was a strong trainer. The problem was that he was too caught up in strength. And then he learned to have fun later. That's the problem.
It almost felt like he relearned it today in this episode. Because at the end he started smiling or something.
Yeah, but at that point that's a Hello Kitty Band-Aid after the fact.
But that's even then that's still a regression because then that means he went back to 0 again and then went back up again to what he was.
No, what they did was that the writers brought Alain on here for his popularity and then forgot to realize, oh yeah, that's right, he's competent. They made him a complete fucking idiot and made him lose very severely with Leon still having 2 Pokemon for nothing more than the fact that they fetishized the idea that Leon's a strong trainer. No one had to say that Leon was the strongest. They chose to make that title to match up with the video game. But the video game didn't have to do that either. They chose to do that because they fetishized the one idea that if you beat him, then congratulations, you did something that was really hard to do. It makes Ash look better temporarily until his Pikachu loses to a fucking, what's that damn pig's name? Lechonk in Scarlet and Violet.
Chonk.
And this is why you don't do that. And in the battle, a lot of people go, well, in the other battles, he fought, how was that any different? Alain fought in those battles. And all those were spectacles. Because I heard that too. People are saying, oh, those were just spectacles. First of all, spectacle and choreography go hand in hand. The choreography is made that way for a reason. If that weren't the case, every fucking battle would end in one goddamn hit.
Just to jump in for a second and go back to something you said before about the strongest trainer, our buddy Larry actually commented about that. The thing is that he says he thinks it works better in the game because the difference between the game and the anime is the game is only in Galar. You know, so therefore he's the strongest in that section. But that's the clear difference. There's a Galar and then there's the whole Pokemon world scope.
Right.
Like, if he was just the strongest in that region, okay, maybe we'd have a different discussion right now. But when you set him up as the strongest in the Pokemon world, that's when things start to fall apart, especially when you realize you're putting a new character, at least new compared to all the other ones anyway, to veterans.
Right.
Who've created and established their own identity in the series prior to this.
And like I said, the feats that Alain does in Mega Evolution, hell, if you just take Mega Evolutions Act 2 and 3, and I say those two because he fought legendaries, and legendaries have always been on this weird scale power scaling system, but you can't deny Mega Rayquaza, Primal Groudon, and Kyogre are fucking powerful. They cause atomic level explosions. But if people want to keep putting up tiers list and these which is stronger than which, to be quite honest, when it comes to those animations, the feats visually are the fucking same. It's basically giving a powered up sword in an RPG that looks the same but has a bigger number. That's what they're doing. They're tacking it on because it's battle points, power levels, scores that are giving Ash a level of contention and then allowed to move narratively past it when the story's time for him to do it. That's why they're there. They're there in order to give people a clear view of what's better than what. But the problem here is that it's inconsistent because Pokemon's always been dangerously inconsistent when doing it. The problem here is that when you have a one-shot fight like that, that's very disappointing, coming from the same era as a Pokemon series that's known to have battles where several exchanges are made back and forth, animation looks really good, Pokemon movements look fluid, and Pokemon are able to use attacks that make relative sense and have strategy behind it, and even characters explaining why those strategies work, or visually seeing the strategies work on screen with the Pokemon that wind up fighting with each other. It's one of the reasons why, for example, in the fight between Bisharp and Goodra, when Goodra gets knocked out by Guillotine, it still was able to do the rain dance earlier in the fight to make Greninja's Water Shuriken stronger so it can knock out Bisharp in one hit. You can believe that because it's something that allows you to go, oh, that's right. Technically, Greninja and Goodra won this fight at once. Goodra set up the rain, Greninja did the attack that wins the fight. It's teamwork. It tells a story. It gives a message. Another fight, and KG, get ready, I'm about to give Sun and Moon some props, where we know that the character has to lose, but still loses with some level of dignity, is Kiawe versus fucking Gladian. Why? Did Kiawe lose Turtonator with one fucking hit?
No.
Did Marowak die by one fucking hit?
Not that I can remember of.
Did it effectively show off that Kiawe put up a good fight against Gladian, even though he lost?
Yes.
Alright then. So it's very clear what happened. They're stretched for time. They had to make do with the time that they had, and then they splashed all this shit together at once, hoping that they could get the opening ceremonies, the meeting of the trainers, and the battle all in one foul swoop and get it out the way. They did this because they wanted to go ahead and get the first round out of the way and write it out the way so that they can get to the next one and move on. They're at a crunch for time, and it very much shows. But even at a crunch of time that the other series have had, the other series didn't make it so dangerously obvious that they were short on time, and they did moves that, while weird, definitely showed that they put some effort into it. This is not effort. None of it is. Between Ash not being able to interact with any of the other champions, between the battle being piss poor, between an unnecessarily late introduction to Hop, between all of the fucking unsatisfying variables of this entire episode, and then everybody trying to justify that it is, between the horribly short pacing of the battle, between the awkwardness of Alain and all of the competent shit that he did in Mega Evolutions Acts 1 through 4, plus X, Y, and Z being completely regressed, and him being taken as a fucking fool and an idiot, and his name being placed badly, regardless of all the accomplishments that he did as a character, simply to push the agenda that Leon's fucking strong, which is something we already fucking knew from the beginning of the series. This episode is trying so hard to push an agenda that we already knew. It's no fucking surprise that Leon's strong. He's proved it. But we need that fucking rank number, and we need to sell those goddamn video games. So because of that, Leon has to get this clout, and a character from a series that already ended that was well regarded needs to be laid to the wayside because that's not what's popular right now. Sword and Shield's the shit, at least until Scarlet and Violet come out, and we need to squeeze that agenda as hard as we fucking can. So let's make Alain act like an idiot and have completely incompetent Pokemon and make Mega Charizard X look like a complete fucking idiot for nothing more than the fact of, well, look at this. Look how strong he is. This episode's ass. 1 out of 10. And the 1 is the Iris doing the selfie with the other girls. Oh. I'm sorry. And it's also Ash and Iris coming into the room together. That's kind of cute. I like that.
Yeah, that was cute too, yeah. All right.
So, yeah. This tournament's gonna be ass, and even then, I've been if you look past Charizard using the fucking Dragon Claw past the Ancient Power, because even I'll admit that looks okay. The battles animations have been looking bad, and they don't look like they're gonna be any better based on that preview I saw.
There was that one shot people kept spamming, being like, "Oh no, we're doomed." And it's that Gyarados. What was it? The Gyarados Dragon Pulse attack.
Or Samurott said it too. Koharu's fucking missing, so they dropped the ball on her character before she even came up.
Also, funny thing too.
Jarrell once again flexing his ineptness anyway, but it's okay.
I was gonna say Koharu's VA and Alain's VA, aren't those two married? So that would have been something cute to see.
Didn't I do an interview on that too?
What? Yeah, there's an interview out.
Yeah, there's an interview with him.
The Basel, I think, translated it not too long ago.
Yeah, he did. I was reading it.
Yeah. And TSS nailed on it too. Alain sound dead. You want to know why? They drug his character in here. They drug his character in here. Unprecedented, because the fans wanted Alain so fucking badly.
No, Terrell, because I actually did criticize this shit, so therefore I have merit too. So suck it.
But anyway, remember, this is the JN score. So
no. My point, but my point being is that people got so mad and sad that Ash lost to Alain. They wanted him in the tournament so badly that they brought him here. They forced him here, and when they forced him here, the writers didn't stop and think of why the fans wanted him here. They just brought him here and then remembered, oh yeah, he can Mega Evolve and he has a Charizard. That's about all we remember. And he came from Kalos, I think, right? Yeah, give him some Kalos mines. Hey, you're voicing Alain again. What do I do? Just fucking wing it. That's what they did. It feels soulless. It feels rushed.
Then again, though, I mean, to be fair, though, Alain has had random Pokemon in the league, so I mean, realistically, it fits that kind of.
It's inconsistently consistent.
But what it feels like is a desperate move to cash in on Alain's popularity without facing the consequences of carrying his writing weight that X, Y, and Z gave him.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. They wanted to use the character, but they didn't want to use everything that comes with the character. They used the face to labelize on how popular something is, and then they gave them the boot simply because they didn't want to overshine what already is. My case in point, Ash Greninja. In Journeys, they cover up that Greninja can do that because they knew if he had the ability to transform, audiences would have wanted to see that instead of Mega Lucario.
Oh, I just thought they did that because you can't do it in the games.
No, they did that. Well, that too. But man, they did it because they did it because it was a desperate attempt to go, please don't look at Greninja. He's cool, we know, but he's not that cool. Please look at Lucario. Please, he's cool too. Look, he can close his eyes and turn blue for a second.
You know how much they wanted to push that message that the only edit they really did that was significant was remove his scene in the opening with an extended scene of Lucario and Ash.
Yeah, and they replaced it with Hop.
Exactly.
Yeah. So 1 out of 10. Sorry.
Good for you.
Sorry about you. This episode was ass.
Okie dokie, buddy. Well,
Ass
once
and
again,
ass.
at the
Yeah,
end of the day, everybody has their opinions. He found
Indeed.
it to be the worst. I found it to be mid. Nessa also did too. Emmy as well, and DSS. You also were.
It's
I think the most
mixed
favorable.
bag. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a
bag.
mixed bag, and that's what I said at the very beginning. Once again.
Yeah,
different
and once
approaches
again,
for different
Terrell,
folks.
and once again, I like when Terrell is so sarcastic that he starts not making sense, but we know he does make sense. We love him.
Yeah, we love him for it. I do gotta ask.
Sarcasm is awesome.
I do gotta ask
go
you, TSS,
Go ahead, KG.
because I
Go
know
ahead.
we do Jane scores, and I never like approaching it, but I always wondered, like, what was your score for this if it was outside of JN, like an overall score?
5-3.
Okay, okay, so there we go. That was just something I was curious on, especially knowing that this is the big league. I was curious to see how you feel on it.
Yeah,
as a whole.
it would rank even lower than the first Kalos episode as well. Even that was distracting as fuck.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's what I just wanted to hear on that. All right. Thank you for that, buddy.
You're welcome.
With that being said, shall we go and wrap it up then, everybody?
Yeah,
I
let's go.
have one thing to say before I wrap it up. Because
Manny?
First of all, 70 viewers.
yeah.
70 viewers,
y'all
thank
are
you for that.
awesome,
I wanna make it very clear for two big things about me personally. I understand people look forward to when I fucking rage out on this shit. I'm not doing it to like do a script or anything. I'm not like, obviously everybody knows my shit is completely fucking improv, and I always just say what's in my brain and it splashes out. It's not me trying to cash in on, like, you know how the angry video game nerd or nostalgia critic have that angry personality with stuff. I'm not trying to cash in on that to get views or anything. It's generally how I feel. But also, it's because with me, everybody knows that I'm very characteristic when I come to anything. I'm dynamic, and I do that because even as a kid, I was taught that if you want people to see what you're trying to present, if you want to do anything, then you need to do it in a way that shows off how well you can do it. Otherwise, you're just coming off as something that everybody else has done. You're going to reinvent the wheel. Anybody can invent the wheel. How do you sell the wheel? And for me, my personality is what's supposed to do that. The fact that I'm able to be passionate, the fact that I'm able to make my go 100 on things, but still have this level where I can come back down to reality and rationalize things and look at them logically. The fact that I'm able to speak and articulate clearly. All of these tactics are things I learned not just in college, but just in life. And I try to do all of those things so I can measure them out. The episodes that I watch, I give them all the same fair shot I gave the X and Y episodes, and for a while even the Sun and Moon episodes before I just physically couldn't watch those anymore. Sorry, KG. But I give them all the fair shot. And when I am passionate about something, I do get, passionate. And I do that because, obviously, if I want to make my voice known and heard and be taken to a level of seriousness, then obviously I'm going to present myself as such, and that's how I've been presenting myself every time. It's the reason why most people know me for reviewing the X and Y anime. It's the reason why most people know me for even reviewing Super, or for some of the things that I say on Twitter, or some of the reasons that I have the followers that I have on Twitch right now is because I try to do this in a way to where I know it can, one, still show off what I need to say passionately, whilst two, still having a level of control and articulation to what I have to say, and analyze things on a rational degree that makes logical sense. So that's why I do that. I hope nobody's going around going, "Oh, Tyrone's just getting his bank in from raging at Journeys." That's not it. I don't even get paid for this shit, to be perfectly honest. Sadly,
None of us do.
Yeah,
Nope,
but
none of us do.
the rage I create is
Well,
usually
you
because
do.
I
No,
am,
you do, KG. You get the sub money. So shut up.
the sub bucks. But
They don't go to me though. They go
But the-
directly to
yeah.
paying for all the other merchant stuff that I
Yeah.
have to spend
Fair
for
enough.
y'all.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but the character I do is completely me. It's just me usually taking my hilarity to the or anger or emotion to the degree that usually fits the setting of what's happening. It's the reason why I hear people come back and quote me on jokes that I don't even fucking remember I say, because I add character to them. Anybody can tell the jokes.
Yeah, like the
It's how
horses
you.
one. Like,
Yeah.
I
Because I
always
didn't
love
say
it.
it. I didn't say it. I didn't. How would you have remembered it? Me saying, "Oh, I don't care. I don't want anyone to say that I fuck horses. She's hot." Or me going, "Look, I want to clarify something. I don't want anybody saying I fucking fuck horses or anything, but that shit's hot." Like, obviously, one has more character than the other.
And that's what we love about it, yeah.
And goddamn it, I just realized I said this shit twice.
yes, you did.
Both passionately and unpassionately, which begs the
Yes.
question.
So you want double.
Yeah.
You got double. But also to key off Tyrone as well. You know what makes us really great is that we all have our own different way of both analyzing and also giving the points. Like I said, sometimes meandering does happen. That's what happens when you have an unscripted program. But the fact of the matter is, some people have talking points. That's what I'm saying. Unless if there's something, unless if it's something like really, really important, I don't write a list. Like I try to remember this stuff off of off of my head, on the top of my head, and most of the time it does work. But sometimes it does get some meandering. But the whole fact of the matter is, every one of us has our own styles, and every one of us, we all appreciate each other's thoughts, and we all have our dynamic attitudes that makes us ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it is. And some people may take, everybody's gonna. The whole fact of the matter is everybody's gonna take sides, right? It's just at the end of the day, nobody's gonna say on the same side. Otherwise, we're gonna be living in the fucking doldrums. But the whole fact of the matter is, we're here. We have a platform that we can express our opinions. And whoever agrees and disagrees, great. But the fact of the matter is, there's something for everyone.
Indeed.
And that's great.
With that being said, my opinion is factual.
No, the only facts that we're spitting out was the ones that I mentioned, which was Shinichiro Miki was not freaking Charizard. That is the only fact, and also the freaking other things. But the other thing about the 23 movie poll. That's it. Those are the only two facts out of this whole thing.
Tia says, "Don't let me get Big Bird with the rant near you."
I know I just got done ranting about the episode, but let me ask this: would you watch Pokemon if every fucking move ended the way that ended?
No.
What's wrong? What? But they're the strongest. What? I don't see what the problem is. They so strong. They so strong. What's the problem? Don't you want every battle to be? Don't you want every battle to be a one-hit KO?
Just one word.
Happy birthday, girl! By the way, again.
4 million, yes.
Don't you ever want every battle to be a one shot? If they so strong, they gotta show off how strong they are, guys.
I have One Punch Man for that.
I'm the strongest trainer in the world.
The strongest trainer. Is it right? The Elite Four member Siebel's so strong, he could just get Blastoise to use one Hydro Pump, and that should have ended the fight, right? I've actually found this funny, and I'm not going to use his name, but one person said, I don't mind fights being really short if they show off the narrative. That's a lie, because one of his favorite fights was the Machamp episode, which, if we saw, Machamp was beating the tar out of Lucario for 20 fucking minutes.
And Lucario should have got down.
And Lucario won because it just did. There's no strategy behind it. There's no narrative. It won because the show is about to end and the credits are about to roll.
Okay, I have a bet right now. I want you guys to give me a number. Okay?
Sure.
So, we know Lucario tanks shit. How many hits is it going to take for Lucario to finally either win or lose against Charizard in his match?
Oh, that thing's going to get the fucking snot kicked out of it before it beats Charizard.
I agree.
No,
It's going to take every hit under the sun. You know all those moves that I just named that Leon Charizard has?
He's going to take all of them?
Yeah, he's going to take every last fucking hit. Every last
like
one.
20 hits?
Yeah, that motherfucker. Lucario's going to get dragged through the fucking audience. He going to whip it up and down the streets for Galar. Like, man.
Yeah, actually, chat. Let's make a bet. How many hits do you think Lucario is going to take before he either wins or loses that match? Because I just want to see. Remember, Charizard got taken down by like 1 or 2 hits, and that was it.
11.
20.
Taron?
Oh, but if I had to be realistic, I'll probably say about 12.
Okay. Someone says 15 plus 3, 0. Oh shit, he just passes out when he just gets summoned and dies.
Also, technically speaking, I was like, isn't Lucario's weak against Charizard?
Yes, just like that Machamp fight.
But that doesn't matter. Remember, Lucario's so strong.
And he's such that he could resist fire types, even though he's a steam type.
He's so the strongest.
Right? Strongest.
Yeah, he's strong. That means that, like I've been seeing it all over. And at this point, it's not even me ranting. It's the observable reality. Ever since this fight ended, you want to know what I've been seeing? Memes. I've been seeing memes of, it'll say something like this. It'll say like, no, not the Trevor meme. Which, I want to tackle the Trevor thing. People may compare the Leon to Trevor. At least Leon knocked out a Pokemon. Trevor didn't knock out shit. He got his ass fucking mauled on. And most of it, we didn't even get to see on the screen. You want to know what screen we saw it on? The little side screen when Ash was fighting the Furfrou guy. Imagine getting your ass whooped so badly you can't even see it on the main screen. So, no, Trevor still got it worse. I don't get that joke. I guess the idea is he lost in the first round like Trevor, Charizard v. Charizard. But you gotta remember, Trevor didn't even get to lay a dent on Leon. Leon beat the fuck out of him. Like, no questions asked. I think he won.
Alain.
Oh yeah, Alain. Sorry, you know what it is? They have the L in their name, and they have the L in their name, and they both have all 3 of the characters have fucking Charizards. Anyway, Leon beat Alain in that one hit, but he still lost a Pokemon. He lost Rillaboom. Trevor didn't even he got 3-stocked. So it's not even close. So I don't get where the fuck that joke's coming from.
I think it's because of that video where they showed them both getting out taken at the same time.
They're basing it off the Charizard fight, but at least Alain took out a Pokemon. Trevor didn't do.
Yeah, Alain took out Leon's Pokemon.
Alain took out Leon's Pokemon. Trevor didn't do a goddamn thing. He got 3-stocked.
I think the only plus though is I think Alain was the first one to take down one of Leon's Pokemon
on screen.
On screen.
Yeah.
But going back to my point, one of the memes I keep seeing is people comparing how much Charizard has done versus what it's doing here. And let me see it. Oh, the big one I saw was Charizard took a full-on Precipice Blades from Groudon. Charizard and Journeys, 1 Dragon Pulse KO. Or the other one where it shows the big dog, the big corgi with the muscles, and it's like fought 10 Mega Evolution Pokemon in a row without any breaks. Fought off against multiple legendaries and fought off against Ash's most powerful form, Greninja, who fought on par with Gardevoir before Ash got knocked out. Can take all of it. Fought off against Leon. Dragon Pulses are scary. And it showed the weak corgi, the tiny one.
The one that gets bonked, right?
Yeah, so basically it's turned into a fucking Hololive meme review.
But the reason TSS, let's pay attention to the community. What I always like to do is pay attention to the observable reality. Why are they all telling this joke at once? Why is everybody unanimously saying the same thing? It almost feels like someone's pointing out the inconsistency.
Now it sounds like somebody doesn't have time.
Well, What do you mean somebody? There's millions of fucking people that came to the same conclusion.
People online, they have their.
You can't
weirdness
fucking do that. No, absolutely not. Sorry, TSS. You can't do that. You can't sit there and then watch.
You wonder why I don't go online, dude.
Hold on. I'm debating with respect. I'm still debating with respect. You can't do that. You can't mitigate everybody's same opinion at once by saying, oh, it's just people on the internet. No. Why do they all share the same opinion, though? That means something is happening that not exactly, it doesn't necessarily mean it's right or wrong, but it does have some weird level of observable reality to it. If everybody looked up at the sky and saw a fucking fireball in the sky and went, wow, that was a huge ass fireball. And one person goes, oh, that's not that big. But millions of other people go, what the fuck are you talking about? Then maybe, just maybe, there might be a pattern going on. Why is the pattern happening? Probably because it's true.
Meh.
Yeah, at this point, I think everybody
memes.
I'll always love the troll bias
but
meme somebody did.
But no, scratch that. No, I'm about to put my comedy training into view here. Every joke has a 10% level of reality behind it. That's why they're funny. So no matter how many people make the joke, there has to be some level of reality behind it. And the reality is Charizard got done dirty. That's what it is. We know this. That's why people keep making the jokes, is because they know what Charizard's capable of, but Journeys had to write an agenda, so they made him not capable to do the thing that he was able to do last time. That's why they did it.
Memes, the DNA of the soul.
Yeah.
Yep. Memes is cool.
Indeed. All right, then. What do you guys say we go and wrap things up, then, for tonight?
Also, KG, just shut your fucking ads off on this thing. You don't even need to make money that badly. People are missing out on content for this shit.
Well, they need to pay the $5.
Exactly. Subscribe to
that's true.
Use your Twitch Prime account so you can get a free emotes. Well, not really.
I'm going to clip out mine specifically and put them in there so they can actually hear all of what I said. Because some people said they didn't even get to hear me.
Well, that's why you subscribe with Amazon Twitch Prime.
Oh, yeah, and fuck you, Tasso, for putting them up while I said something. You had a whole TSS, Nessa, and Emmy to do that with.
What?
Yeah, but what?
Put the ad time on it.
What, that I only took like 10 minutes?
Oh,
I don't know how long the ad
Tasso
time
showed
is.
up like around the time you were beginning.
Yeah, he did. He was on the chat.
Along with Tronic, actually.
Yep.
Well, but let's go and wrap things up then for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
we hope you guys
let's
enjoy.
let's talk about what's coming up for this week.
Indeed, because we have a lot of things.
Oh yeah,
going on.
and also before we get to that, we also have to figure out what the fuck we're going to be doing for 2 weeks because we have nothing.
God, yeah, that.
Oh,
we have nothing.
I have plans, but I need to make sure everything runs.
I know at some point I'm going to do a watch party of Alain's fights in XYZ so we can put respect on his name.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew?
Ew. What? Ew.
Random.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
If you want to say ew, look at all the fucking facial reactions in Sun and Moon. Oh, I went there.
Oh shit. Guess what? I agree, actually. So it doesn't really harm me, if anything. I agree, but no. In all sincereness, I'm excited to see what's coming from it.
Yeah.
So I hope you have fun with that one, buddy. But I only say ew just because of, well, after what we just saw in this one, do we want to go back and be reminded of what was and not what is? You know what I mean?
Technically, they both exist. So
I like to.
It is.
I like to think it's a potion. It's a healing factor for people who just went through the damage. That
it just sounds more like cope.
That's copium.
Copium Z.
Nice. No. But in all seriousness, I hope you have a fun time with that watch party.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't worry.
Angie, what the fuck are we gonna do Tuesday? That's the question.
Oh well, that's a good question, buddy.
You don't know.
I was
you don't
hoping
fucking know.
I was hoping you would have responded to that, honestly.
Well, let's see.
Fall Guys is available tomorrow for free.
Fine.
Tara's like,
fine. We already have the fucking game.
Sounds defeated.
We don't even get to benefit from the free part.
Actually, no. We actually get some collectible goodies that are only available for those that.
Thank the fucking Lord! What?
You get free crowns.
Now, I don't need free crowns. Whoop somebody. I'm KG. I'm whooping your ass.
Heard
Let's
that new
do it.
PokePod chocolate is
Sergi, I'm
available
getting
for
my
30
belt and I'm
bucks.
beating your ass. This is bullshit.
How much for
Gonna get the
Tyrone in the
popcorn.
Fall Guys costume? $5.
Oh yeah, well, we're gonna fund Tyrone in a Fall Guys costume, and he's gonna wear that for
Yes.
Anime NYC. There we go.
Yes, he
Oh
will.
no.
I will
Play
murder
Goose
everyone.
Duck. I heard about Goose Duck. It's pretty cool.
I will murder you all.
No, but yeah, chat. Since we got your attention, if you guys got any games that you would like for us to play tomorrow, let us know.
Yay.
But until the meantime, though, and I'm kidding about the Fall Guys. But I do want to bring this up before we do continue, Tyrone, because I got to see what's the results overall from the announcements of the games that we're going to be playing on Community Game Night. Fall Guys, which is going to be free tomorrow, has a total of 15 votes. The Jackbox Party Pack has 7 votes. And last but not least, Among Us has a total of 21 votes. AKA, the victor of this round for Community Game Night is going to be Among Us. So we're going to have the Discord community be focused on the memes. And we're going to see just how effective...
Oh, that's what you guys are doing on Wednesday?
Yes. It's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out on Wednesday. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with that one. Oh, God, indeed. So,
hey, question. So who won the poll?
For which one?
There was a poll, I guess, saying something about 90% of, will like the episode or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
No,
we got
there's
the
a
prediction
different one.
outcome. Here we go. Did at least 50% of the pod like JN115 is what it said. Wait, I could have sworn there was a different poll. Wasn't it like 90?
I saw 90%.
Yeah, I think somebody deleted that.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I certainly remember seeing it at 90%.
Yeah, let me
It's the
choose the
sexy
outcome.
baka no sal.
Did at least 50% of the pod like JN115? No. Mega. I got 3 options. Yes, no, and Mega Evolution rocks.
Well, the last one is wrong.
So no. Because TSS was the one that found it the most favorable, and even then that's passing barely, I guess.
I think yeah, he was the only one passed. Everyone
Yeah.
else like
Yeah, so he was the only one.
Like
So
I passed it like people pass stones.
Whoa. What the fuck?
damn, so barely.
I'm about to pass a kidney stone.
All right, so I'll
God
take
damn
for
it,
no.
TSS.
See,
The answer is
got it.
no bueno. So
You fucked
congratulations.
me up with that one.
Yeah, good job, buddy. The person who bet 100K was the same person who won 400K from 115 reaction poll. Nice. So what was I gonna say? Yeah. So for Wednesday, that's gonna be the game. Among Us. Thursday, obviously, is a tripod. Friday is going to be reaction night. That's gonna be interesting.
For what?
And yeah, well, 2 episodes of the Zorua
What?
special I have not watched. So we're gonna be watching that.
Oh,
Yeah, I purposely held back on it because I've been wanting to watch it on Twitch because I've been wanting to share my reactions to the cutie patooties that is called the Bilu Zorua. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch that second episode, and I heard the
I haven't
third
watched
episode
it
is
at all
coming out
either.
Thursday. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with the
I might join you in that reaction. I didn't watch it.
yeah. So well, you got to watch episode 1 then at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so episode 2 and 3, we're gonna be reacting to that. So it'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't know about Tuesday. I don't really know which one it is for tomorrow. Honestly, I was thinking like as we were having this conversation, what we could do that would be kind of fun for tomorrow. And I'm looking through my Steam log and all that to see maybe there's something that we could play. I see Uno. We haven't had a card-based game in a while, have we, Taron?
Not really. Nope.
Yeah, but we need our full squad for that one. Let's take a look here. I got Uno. I got
You have Uno,
playing
bitch.
Play the Quarry, lol. Oh my god, there was that. What was it? Play Samurai.
We might wind up having just a tripod though if we do discussions. So
For what?
I don't know yet. That's for the week to find out.
Oh, well, I mean, we haven't had a Nintendo Direct prediction, and if guaranteed we're getting one next week, might as well do one for that.
Yeah.
I think so. Let me see. Continuing to look on the list of games. Roblox, I guess. The Sonic Simulator is still a thing. We haven't went to Chemical Plant Sun, have we?
Nope, we have not.
There's that as a possibility.
Mm.
I don't know. Well, have you been able to brainstorm ideas, Tyrone?
I'll figure it out. I'm sure. I'll figure something out during the week.
You mean during the next 24 hours?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, okay. So, Tyrone, please tell people what are you going to be doing this week then? Well,
Wait, I thought we were doing the Fall Guys thing on Tuesday.
No, I meant what are you doing in general?
What are you going to be doing? Yeah.
Oh, well, that and then Near Automata Wednesday. And then Thursday we're doing the tripod stuff. And then after that, obviously on Saturday we're doing a round table. Maybe Polly will be around because we're supposed to do the Team Rocket one. It'll be attempt number 3 at that. If not, then I have an alternate round table that I can do.
Polly's gone this week, so
Yeah,
I don't know
she's
what's
on
gonna
vacation.
happen.
That's right. Fuck. All right, I'll figure it out. I'll kidnap somebody else and just put them.
I'm gonna have fun with this one. There's gonna be a lot of interesting things that I'm gonna do for Saturday. I think it's gonna be a long window. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'll kidnap somebody for the round table, and then obviously on Sunday is Final Fantasy X.
Yeah. So just as a heads up, because I didn't mention for Saturday, I don't know what time I'll stream on Saturday because I know I'm gonna go see Lightyear with the fam. So when I come back, I'll probably do a stream. But we'll see what it'll be for that though. So I'll keep you guys a heads up. Oh, Tyrone, I'm so dumb. If we couldn't come up with anything, you know what we should do, Tyrone?
What?
One last session of Minecraft. Let's make it the finale.
Okay.
Yeah. I was surprised we didn't think about Minecraft. Let's make it one.
I'm surprised we didn't do it on fucking Tuesday, but okay.
Yeah, for Minecraft on Tuesday.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, let's make it the finale then if we want to.
Sounds good.
All right. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it, Tyrone. It's been getting a lot popular over there in the server. We have to up the server now.
I be seeing them play it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, Tyrone. I think you'll have a kick out of it if you watch it again for this upcoming session.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. But I think we'll make it the end, and I think we're going to see if we can get to the end, Tyrone.
Yeah.
Let's hope for the best with that one.
Well, last time you drug us in a cave and then had us get fucking killed by wardens. And then you blew up the cave and shut down everybody's internet.
Yeah, I don't know
that's
how we're going to top that.
That's a recap of what happened. Yeah, that's a recap.
I don't know what's going to happen next time, but don't worry. So let's go and let's see what TSS has to say. What do you got to say, buddy?
All right, so coming up on Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, is going to be Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition Part 5. So we are working our way through that. We are about, I want to say like 13 hours into the game, somewhere around that 14. So about maybe about over a quarter into the game, almost a quarter into the game. And then on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have Part 4 of the Maternal Bound Redux, which is the Earthbound mod for the Super Nintendo with MSV1 audio and all that good stuff, quality of life improvements. We are currently in Saturn Valley, which is what I last played about 10 years ago. So right now what's coming up is going to be brand new to me. So stay tuned for that at 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
Okie dokie. So that's pretty much going to be a wrap for all of us here tonight. I want to thank everybody here in this call for being with us. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful time here in our pod. It's almost been nearly 4 hours, one of our bigger pod sessions, but I hope everyone had a good time with it. As a heads up, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the PWC, for only the PWC moments, I feel we're going to be going and extending our sessions up an hour. Like for the next 2 weeks, we don't have to, but I feel because of how significant there is for stuff to talk about, I think we might push it an extra hour or so.
Ironically enough, Lance versus Diantha is one of the few fights where nobody has to fucking lose for no apparent reason. So, it'll be interesting to actually see who wins it. Well, I think Lance will probably get stomped because he already fought earlier in the show.
And also, I mean, type disadvantage, bro.
Yeah, he already fought earlier in the show.
I was like, Diantha's has that fairy advantage.
Not even Gardevoir, fucking Aurora's.
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, so unfortunately Lance is about to get clapped.
And honestly, I'm going to like every bit of that. But yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Maybe I can
But
clapping them cheeks and stuff.
Yeah, he's gonna get his
Oh.
booty clapped.
Jesus
Like
Christ. But yeah, so upcoming session review on that one in 3 weeks, chat. So that's gonna be fun.
Yep.
So yeah, until then though, don't worry, ladies and gents, we're gonna have a fun time in the meantime to question what's gonna go down. We're approaching session 150 next week, ladies and gentlemen. And
Yes.
Wow.
it is a very big deal for every one of us. And thank you once again for consistently being with us. Don't worry, you'll see what's gonna happen in 150, ladies and gents. But I hope you guys have had a fun time with the PokePod World Podcast this year, and within the many years we've been doing this series here. So let's see what session number 150 is going to feel like. And with it being during a moment of a gap break, I think we might have some ideas for what we could do. But until then, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's session. Hope you guys come back for more throughout the week here on twitch.tv. So make sure to stick around for that. And yeah, we'll speak again real soon. So until then, everybody, make sure to have yourselves a wonderful evening, a wonderful week, and we'll speak again real soon. TSS, as usual, what are the magic words to wrap it up with?
What? Wash your fucking hands. Look for our channels below. Thanks.
Yes.
All right, then. Take care, everybody. Be safe, and we'll speak with you all soon. Bye.
Have a good night. Bye bye.
This is not the bullshit you were looking for.
It's not. God damn it.